back. Wait. Nye. Okay, there we go. Controller in hand. There we go. Okay. Better to play the game when you have the controller in hand. Alright. So, my nose hurts a fair bit for some reason. I don't know why. Left nostril is just like, alright, time for pain. And, I shaved. And, kind of feeling my oats. That's like, yeah, Christmas vacation, kind of a necessity. My body is apparently like, yep, winter has arrived and it's time for your once a year get sick. And I'm like, cool. Don't know why though. Don't know if I'm sick or if it's just like an irritation. Because it could be just an irritation, you know, like something gets, you know, like a loose hair or something, or, you know, sometimes you just get itchy. Dry air and stuff. Which isn't really getting sick, it's just like, oh, you know, too much dry air and you just get, like, gross. Yeah, so I apologize if I'm sniffly today. Start watching. Removals van. Ah, okay. How does this actually work? Home base. If I go to home base, oh. Oh! They actually have, like, a map of the world now, that's cool. This is where we live. There's the job. Oh, they gave us, like, a map, that's cool. Cat! Oh, this is the cat from the first game. Hey, Ulysses. Oh, it's Ulysses. Yeah, I remember him. And I remember that Ulysses was having kittens, because Ulysses is a she. A good cat. Oh, that's a baby right there. Fur bonding. Home base pet all 3 cats. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I remember that... I remember pretty well some of this stuff. I remember the first game, because I played a fair bit of it. I actually did finish it, and I did some... What does this one say? Cow and no cats. Situation in town for 3 weeks. So, Muckingham has no cats except for the 3 I have. Okay, got it. How to train your cats, pet caring intro. Oh, I see. So the character we play as has clearly expanded their knowledge. Handle. Oh, you could go prone. That's funny. Okay, they adjusted the buttons on me. Let's see. Okay. Oh. They made the menus very easy. It's very snappy. I can already tell they've optimized this game a lot more because a lot of the textures are really like... Oh, it's the slide! That's the Stegosaurus the slide was based off of. I see. Whoa! This is the van from the first game. History of Santa hats. I'm just checking. I'm looking around because I remember playing this game a lot. I played it a fair bit when it was newer. Let's see, great news. You fully moved in. Removal van is a way to move to the wash bay. In the home base select with the map. Okay. Well. Oh yeah, it's definitely a lot faster on the load too. Oh, they optimized it so much. Good on them. Oh boy. I'm just excited because I could tell how much they like. Whoa. Oh, they changed the buttons on me a little bit. It's a little bit makes more sense, but yeah, it's nice. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised how much they changed without changing too much. How do I... Okay, you know what's the one I'm actually... Whoa. The menu's different too. Okay. Real question for me is how do I... Okay, so this is the rotating the nozzle. How do I... Yeah, that's the nozzles. How do I see the dirt? Because they move the button, so that means that seeing the dirt is actually a different button now. Okay. Change washers. Huh. Actually a little confused, only because... Free mode. Okay, they're going through the buttons one at a time. It's a little bit awkward for me right now, just because I'm trying to read. Okay, so I can... Oh god, I forgot to change washers. There we go. What's the difference between these two, actually? What is the difference? Washer style. Oh, is this washer styling? Washers. Prima Vista. Okay. Interesting. How do I... Career mode. Trying to figure out what I'm actually... Washer equipment. What do I have? I actually don't know what we have. We don't have no money, so so I'm guessing we need to, let's see, we have this one. What is this one? This one provides power to the medium duty washers at the area of at the cost of area of effect. And where's the other one? Where's the other one I have then? One? Great entry level washing experience. Okay, I see. So basically we're back to we have 2 washers and one of them's okay. That's nice. Nice that they have different washers. Alright, other thing I need to see control-wise. How do I... Dirt highlight. Be under controls, yeah? Let's see. Dirt highlight. Oh, it's just click the button, I see. Oh, that's... Okay, that's a little bit easy. Ow. That's a little bit easier to see, at least. I appreciate that. Oh, I hit the right bumper, that's right. I can just kind of slide. Oh, that is a little bit easier to trigger as you're just kind of absently doing stuff. That's pretty nice. Honestly, the changes they made from the first game are just kind of, like, overall nice. Also, Namaha, you got first today. How you doing? I don't know if my voice sounds nasally, if my voice changed at all because of my nose, but my nose is acting up on me for some reason. My throat's also kind of good. How are you? I'm doing all right. For some reason, my nose and throat are being weird today. I'm guessing it's just because of the dry air. I think it got too dry, and I did not have recourse for it. That's okay. It's something that I can work through at least, so... Probably have to drink more of my water early today, so I don't accidentally dry myself out too much. Yeah, in terms of gameplay, they definitely update... It's good that they really did actually do some really sizable improvements to the player character. Very cool. Oh, jeez. I'm a fan of the original game. I do think I think the way that they made power washing just like overall satisfying is it sounds silly, but it's like, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, oh well, it's a very, you know, goal-oriented task that's very easy to get in a rhythm with. And the way this game handles it is very satisfying. Again, I think I think it comes down to it's a task that is physical. You know, it's a thing that has a set endpoint, as it were. And by extension, there's some real joy in having a task to do. And of course, this game has, you know, there's no timers, there's no like major rush to go through. It's like, oh, you can just take your time. Oh, not bad. You know, nothing crazy you have to do. Just kind of okay, cool. Go have some fun. Just clean. It's easy. Need to remember my buttons. Not gonna lie. The buttons are gonna be the hardest part for me. I can already tell. Of course, with this game, the more complex things you do are the ones that are... Like, the more complex cleanup jobs are the ones that have a lot of parts. They're probably making this one into small parts to get you in early, you know? They want to make sure you're in, and they don't want to give you something too crazy right away. They did that with the first game, too. The design of the... Because that's how they did the first one. That they really made sure you got a chance to get your footing. That's real nice. Yeah, I kind of estimated that this week I'd want the streams I do to be... Like, kind of like ramp up a little bit, as it were. Kind of like, like, the intensity of the games I play should probably go up as I go through the week, rather than going down. Most of that's because I noticed yesterday I was having some weird throat and, you know, nose and throat issues, but I don't think I'm sick, like I said. I think it's more just, I think I'm just, like, scratchy because of dry air. Which I could get sick from that, but I don't think I will. My constitution is pretty good. Keep forgetting that the buttons are different, and I know I'm hitting the wrong buttons because I see myself, my brain is like, I correct mid move, and it's like, oh, okay, I see. I understand. Yeah. But yeah, honestly, I mean, it's like, you know, I feel like cozy games are not something we do very often here anyway. Because I had to stop and think, like, what actually constitutes a cozy game? Because most of the time it's just like, oh, it's your comfort games, but that's not a particularly not a particularly helpful metric, because it's like, okay, what is comfort, you know, and each person has a different definition, you know. You know, that sort of stuff is very hard to, you know, it's hard to quantify. But I think one of the key things with like what would be considered like a cozy game, you know, like in this sense, is that the time limits are like timer. Like I think there are time limits, but not timers. You know what I mean? Like you're not sitting there watching like a timer ting down while you're doing something. You know, it's like it's very much like, okay, you do this at your pace, and that's fine. And that's the, like, you're kind of just going to do the job. Like, it's going to get done no matter what, but it's, you know, it's your speed. I'm noticing now, because I think left trigger was what I had the... I might just set that, actually. I might swap those, because I kind of prefer that. Can I swap it? Modern... Oh, I can set it to classic, I see. Rotate nozzle... Yes. Okay, so I can make it so it's classic controls. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I see. Okay. Toggle stance. That means that toggle... Yeah, dirt highlights right on the D-pad again. Okay, that's cool. You know what? I'm actually going to do that, because that would be... Okay, so yeah. Yeah, that's... Oh, that's so much... Yeah, that's... Yeah, it's much easier for my brain to recall. I'm not going to lie. Because you know what? Good on them for also... Again, also, the... very forward-thinking devs, I'm going to be honest. There's some very good stuff here. I'm actually like almost a bit like a bit envious. It's quite good. A lot of it comes down to just like, oh, well, do they have the control scheme for classic? It's like, oh yeah, they do. See, I think it's because it's common sense. It's a common sense thing, you know, like, oh, you know, you're not going to get rid of the control schemes from before if because people like the old control schemes sometimes. So it's one of those things that some remakes don't do that can be kind of annoying, is if they don't allow the option for the old control scheme. I think if I heard about it once that the 13 remake, it was like really goofy for that for part of the reason was that, along with the glitches. I'm so sad the 13 remake. I think it's because I played the actual 13, and knowing that the remake is just so bad, it's like, oh man, like man. I like 13. It was one of those early games I streamed that was really fun. I haven't played it. I haven't loaded it back up. I don't think since. I think I loaded it up once or twice since then, but more just to like look at the game, make sure the the disc works and stuff. But I probably should go back and play it again sometime. It's really good. I had the thought once of like maybe going back and doing some of those old series, redoing some of them, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm like that crazy about redoing things. Like, I think I've said it before that it's like I like playing as many new games as I can. And as much fun as it is to go back to old favorites, I do think that it's like given how many times I get to stream in a week, it's like it behooves me to keep moving forward, as it were. That's all right. My nose is getting worse. The more I talk, the worse my nose gets. Crap. And it's like, it feels like I have to blow my nose, but I know if I do, it's gonna hurt. What I might need to do is get up at some point and go get like a paper towel or something to blow my nose with. Do I have a tissue box? Do I have a tissue box now? Might be over there, I don't know. Not in arm's reach, at least. Because that ain't cool. Alright. God, it's so nice. I think the satisfaction also comes from, like, the ordering of something. Even people without, like a compulsion to have things ordered. I feel like putting something back in order inherently is something psychologically satisfying. I feel like this game really does hit that hit that nail on the head. Man, it really does just get that satisfaction of, oh, look at that. That's a clean thing right now. That's good. Like, you did it. You cleaned a thing and you did a good job of it. It's real nice. There we go. One of those things that just, like, I feel like it's always a satisfying thing to do. Just, like, cleaning stuff. But yeah, today was good. I spent the day mostly just doing organizational stuff. Also, spent a little bit of time Oh, jeez. I spent a little bit of time trying to relax a little bit. You know, just try to, like, cool down. The general goal, I think, when, you know, like, the year is coming to an end is to try and, like, wind down and then get ready for the next year. You know, have a routine for it, as it were. Knock that out. Is the trim almost done? Trim is almost done. Might as well just hit that real. Spin around the truck a little bit. Probably don't need to use the hyper one, but I like this one a little more. But I guess back to my point on cozy gaming, I feel like with cozy, like if you're going to define something as cozy, at least to me, I feel like part of it is the lack of a external force making you do things. In the sense of like a timer or enemies or like a game can be cozy with enemies, but I think it's more like you're not really 100% forced to engage with that right away. You know, it's not like a thing that's immediately apparent. Because I feel like sometimes it's like, at least with like games that I understand for coziness, is that you're generally not pressed for things, you know? It's like I feel like even games with enemies, if you're not pressed to deal with them, it's okay. And I feel like this game kind of hits it like right on the, like, you know, hits it right on like what cozy is supposed to feel like. I think part of that's just because it's like it's a task that's not particularly, I don't want to say it's unnecessary, it's more like it's something so menial, you know? It's like, oh, it's a thing that needs to be done. Go clean it, go clean the car, you know, like go power wash. But it's like, oh, but it's satisfying to do it, and it's such a low stakes thing to do that it's satisfying in its own way. You know, it's one of those things, you know, like, you know, I'm thinking of the thought of how many times do I have to go and, you know, fight the dragon, save the princess before it's like, you know, can I just have like a story where not that nothing happens, but more like, you know, something smaller, you know, low stakes. I feel like in a way that's kind of why I'm thinking of like movies where they, you know, like movie universes where it gets too big in scale. Like saving the universe gets boring after a while, you know, because like, okay, it's the universe, it's too big, you know, it's too large a concept to really like get invested in. But like, oh, the local town needs this thing cleaned up. It's like, oh, okay, I can understand that. Kind of like the scale is suddenly far more understandable due to the nature of the conflict. Like, I want this thing cleaned. Okay, go clean the thing, and then you go do the thing. I think it's because I mentioned it on Thursday when after I did some babysitting. That was like, you know, because I had watched some kids TV, and it's like kids TV really nothing happens. Like pretty much nothing happens. If you watch kids TV, it's like nothing happens really. Like, oh no, I think of Paw Patrol because that was one of the shows we watched. Was like oh no, the what was it, the firefighter dog? Like the firefighter dog is going to he's scared of, he has stage fright. You need to get him over stage fright, and then they do, and it's like, okay, cool. Like that's it, you know. It's like, oh, they do, you know. It's like that's really what happens. But it's like it doesn't really diminish that. It's like, oh, it's a small stakes thing. He needs to get over his little fear. It's like, oh, but yeah, it works. You know, it's like it's something that still has consequences, and it's still like, oh, you know, we want the best for the character, but it's not like you're not sitting there thinking about like, well, are we gonna witness the death of a universe? You know, I'm thinking of like, you know, it's funny, for some reason I'm thinking of like the way that like Elden Ring or Bloodborne happens. You know, just are we gonna witness the death of God? And it's like, no, just we're here to talk about like little things. Even in the first game, you know, it's like, oh, the conflict was really that the mayor was kind of a schmutz. Like, he's trying to escape because the volcano's going to go off, and then they find out, oh yeah, we could stop the volcano from going off by cleaning up the temple and going back in time and telling them how to, like, activate the thing that stops the disaster. And it's like, oh, cool, okay. Like, it's so weird, but it's also like, oh, it's like, the stakes for the player never go any further than, oh, I need to clean this thing, and it's never like you have to rush to do it. It's like, oh, just, you know, clean the thing. That's about it, really. I don't know, it's like, the satisfaction really is just, oh, I cleaned up this stuff. That's really cool. Okay, my nose is dripping. I'll be right back. I need to clean my nose. What is happening? Why is my nose doing that? Oh, apologies. Okay, getting back in here. It was like, I felt like something dripping out of my nose, and I was like, please don't be blood. Just like, you know what, I'll be, it's like, it's fine if it is, but like, I'd rather it's not, you know? Like, oh, nosebleed, that sounds horrible. It's like, you know, it's like, not to make something sound too low, too like, menial or like, you know, trivial, but it's like, I don't know, something. I think it's because injury. When I was a kid, I didn't really like when I was you know, like when I first, like, you know, you get injured, you start crying like an idiot, and then as I got older, for some reason I just started like I don't know how best to describe it other than I got kind of clinical about it. Like, oh, I got injured, okay, I'll go and get a bandage, you know. It was because I learned that staying calm in a moment of pain and crisis is a lot better for solving the problem, you know. Like, I think by the time I was 8, it was like, oh, I scraped my knee really bad. Okay, get over the pain, take some breaths, you know, let it go, and then go and get a bandage. Yeah, that's it, really. It's like, and, you know, it sounds like kind of psychopathic to be like, oh, it's like, oh, I messed up my knee, there's blood. Oh, God, you know, you're not responding. It's like, no, I do. It's just like, oh, but, you know, take a breath, calm down. You're not gonna, you know, it's like, I won't be able to, you know, like, deal with the problem and diagnose it if I don't, you know, take it easy. Now slow down. Funny thing, I treat myself a lot better with physical injuries than I do mental ones. I think mental injuries, it's kind of like easier to misinterpret and to like not treat it right. Because, you know, you cut your leg, it's like, oh, it's a bandage, it's easy. You know, you bandages are, you know, it's pretty easy to do. But for some reason, it's like when it comes to like, you know, you grieve or you mourn, or you have some sort of mental pain. We don't really treat that as nicely, you know. We don't. It's hard to be clinical about like, you know, emotions and those sorts of pains. Harder, actually, I think. But yeah, no, it's like, you know, nosebleeds are like, it's whatever. I guess that's the problem, really. You know, a physical thing can be solved. You know, like cleaning a truck. You know, it's like, you know, you can clean a truck just fine because, you know, there's a logical set of steps to get to the truck being clean, and the truck, and like, you know, the rest of the thing being, you know, like, what's the problem really? All the logical, you know, spatial problems of cleaning a truck is pretty easy, but, you know, it's like, that's right, you can how do I interact with this again? How do I interact again? That's it for gore. Interact. How do I do that? Interact is down, I see. The shutter door. But, I guess with that, it's like, you know, I'm thinking of stuff like this where you're thinking, you know, like, oh, how do you begin to clinically deal with stuff? And it's like, well, sometimes you just gotta take a breath. Does the door open and close, or is it one of those? Let's see. That's the barrel. Oh, you know what? It's probably something on the outside. I have to press a button or something. Probably. I want to get the outside done first. Hope everybody coming in is having a good day so far. Good week. You know, we're going into Christmas. I hope everyone's ready for it. Apparently, according to my mom, people are still out shopping for presents, which I think is highly irresponsible. Like, if you didn't do your Christmas shopping before this week, I feel like you're already in a bit of a bind. Like, how are you gonna really explain not having all this ready, you know? Like, you're really gonna be wrapping on Wednesday, or on Tuesday and Wednesday? Like, really? Are you sure? But, you know. Who am I truly to judge? Like, I can judge, sure, but why not? Who am I to judge? Problem is, I do my Christmas shopping, like, much earlier. You know, I try to do it, like, a minimum a few weeks, you know, or a month. Like, right at the end of November, you know, it's like at minimum. Sometimes, though, you know, you have an idea way early in the year for, like, oh, I know what I want to get them next time. Or something shows up in the middle of the year, so you're like, oh, yeah, I'll hit that real quick. That works out pretty well. All things considered. The reason I remember sitting on these wheel well things a lot, I know in school buses that you would sit on them sometimes, but specifically remembering, like, the storage truck for the music department at my high school. I remember that pretty well, like, sitting on that for some reason. And I've had to get I had to, like, change clothes in there a few times just because, like, marching band stuff. Like, oh, we need a private spot for the kids to get changed. Like, all right, cool. We'll use the truck. It's like the like wagon thing. It was very effective, but stripped of its context, very weird. You know? Oh, jeez. Ah, my nose. Why? Really, the only sad thing about the human experience is the fact that the human body basically has as many glitches as computer programs do. I guess, to be fair, it is a wonder that the human body works at all, just given, like, the sheer nature of the human form. Like, holy crap, dude. Like, the amount of stuff that has to be working correctly for a human body to function, and it still does, is like, well, that's kind of impressive, you know? Let's see, oh yeah, that's fine. We can use this one. It's fine, trust. Ah, jeez. I wish I could just, like, it's like, you know, sneeze once and that'd be, like, the end of it. But it is not, sadly. I did have the thought, though, like, why did I want to play PowerWash? And I think, in honesty, it also is, like, sometimes, you know, you want to play a game that's, like, outside your wheelhouse, you know? And I guess, to be fair, I'm always doing that. I don't think I've ever really streamed a game where I feel like I'm actually developing a sort of identity when it comes to games I play. Given that I've played fighting games, I've played trading card games, you know, I played every genre, because, you know, game dev stuff, but it does feel like, you know, in terms of streaming, it does make it a little hard for people to categorize me, which is a problem, from what I understand. Because for some people, I think the categories are king, you know, like, I want this streamer to do this thing every time. Oh, that's weird. Just want me to do this one next? Very strange. Oh, it's marking the next one that's, like, kind of big. Okay, I see. That's fine. I'll just do my own pace. It's fine. But I think I like what I do right now. I like that it actually is, you know, I actually play a variety of games. It's something I noticed when I first started streaming was, you know, I was, you know, I'm trying to network, I'm trying to get to know people, and ran into a lot of the, you know, people who say they're variety streamers who were just playing, like, they would play, like, Warframe and, like, 2 other games, maybe. And it's like, well, that's fine. Like, you could be a really cool Warframe streamer, but it's like, it feels awkward when somebody says they're a variety streamer, but they don't actually play a lot of games. A lot of different ones, at least. I think it's because, you know, it's scary to continuously, to change your identity, as it were. You know, it's like, oh, if you're known it for this game, it's like, oh, and now you're no longer playing it, it's kind of weird, you know? Kind of wonder if there's a game in my first or second year that was what people expected I would do, is I would stay playing that over and over again. I almost wonder if that's what happened with, I don't want to say Triangle Strategy, because I don't think that's the one, but there's another game, I think it might have been Skies of Arcadia, where it's like, because I really like that one. How's it going? Oh, it's going good, Julian. How you doing? Fighting a bit of a weird, of like a itchy nose situation, but I'll say it ain't too bad. Room is dirty AF. It's the inside of a truck surprisingly dirty, but I feel like them doing different forms of grime would be kind of hard on the engine, I think. How's it going today, though? Hope you're doing well. Ooh. Say, not interact with this thing. Oh, this is just one contiguous piece. I see. I understand now. Ah. Weh. My nose is like, weh. Kind of feels a bit like, I like the way I would describe it kind of feels like my nose is like something's pinched on it. Like it's like a singed hose, you know? Like there's like a, very easily something's just stuck there. There we go. I do appreciate this game giving you just something to do. You know, it's like sometimes I feel like with RPGs or like, games with like, arching stories and grand quest lines and all that. It's like in all the mechanics, it's like, oh, it's wonderful, but sometimes it's like, sometimes you just long for something kind of simple, you know? Sometimes it really is just the vibe to play something simple and easy, you know? Like, all right, you aim the power washer, you wash the thing. Easy game to explain, you know? You go about washing stuff. And it's like, I feel like I know some people, like, the argument is like, why would you play a game like this? And it's like, instead of just, doing it yourself, and it's like, well, to be fair, a power washer is kind of expensive to get and kind of even more expensive to maintain and use, so kind of get it. Also, you can't use a power washer like this on a bunch of things, like painted surfaces, can't do it. Can't really do it on, like a lot of different surfaces, so like, this game having the suspension of disbelief of, you have basically a hose and you are spraying stuff down, and that works. Like, okay, cool. I'll let it go. It's the suspension of disbelief that's important here. Like, I feel like otherwise it'd be like, all right, what? Like, why would we? How can I take it seriously if it's not like real life? It's like, well, very clearly the power washer is special and it works differently. Definitely think this game, it's like, it takes away the complexity of actually trying to do complex cleaning jobs. It's like, all right, you're doing it like, you just wash the thing. That's it. Not much else, you know. Ad break. Yeah. Alright, this can be kind of unsatisfying, but there we go. Job complete. Rinse and repeat. Brings with the Torrento, where you need to cleansify an unexpected discovery. Job to finish. Let's see. Oh, yeah, the freaking... the time-lapse. Oh, the time-lapse is so satisfying. And then there's like a whole section where I'm just like spraying the inside of it. And the occasional just... Psh, psh, psh. Very, very good. I'm gonna go to home base. We have an ad break anyway, so might as well go back to home base. I need to blow my nose again. Ugh. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Narakton, we got second. Hope you're doing well. My nose is like... Wait. My cats. Hello, Ulysses. I appreciate Ulysses. Furniture unlocked? What? Furniture catalog. Oh, you know what? I should also make sure... Can I have... Overalls. Oh, I can't change the colors yet. That's sad. Oh, you know what? No, it's in the shop. That's right. Furniture catalog. Retro rug. And whimsical sofa. How do I... Curious how I do more. Oh, the P... Oh, so the P is this one. So this is... So there's two different currencies every job. Okay. Oh, that's kind of cool. So they separate out the cosmetic stuff to... So the cosmetic stuff is on here, but the dollar currency is for the washers. Oh, that's actually really nice. That's very generous, actually. Also, it's also really works out. I'm not gonna lie. I am gonna buy the orange. Oh, this is yellow. Looks kind of like an orange to me, but I guess it looks like a yellow. It's like a yellow-orange. I buy. I just want... See, it says yellow, but it looks orange to me. Yeah, I'm just... Are my eyes stupid, or is it just like... Am I just like double... Or am I just like... My vision is just like... Bleh. Oh, you know what? Hang on. Change outfit styling. So now I could be... Or... Yellow/orange. Whatever. Whatever. Good enough. Can't buy any equipment yet, because we need to save up some, so we're good. I love the cats. Public facility. Past meets the future, blah, blah, blah. Deep dive inventory on public facilities. And we just need to clean it. Alright, cool. Let's start the job. Yeah. I hope everyone's doing well today. Oh, this isn't too bad. This is not a long job, I don't think. Yeah, no, this is gonna be a very... This is gonna be a very easy job, I'm not gonna lie. Just circle it. But, I hope everyone's having a good week so far. We've only just started, but I hope everyone's getting good. I know that the holidays are upon us, but I hope everyone's able to find some time to rest and relax in between the hustle and bustle of the holidays. I definitely understand that, it's gonna be a little stressful, but it'll be fun. It will indeed be a good week. The Christmas spirit flows through us. I made a comment, I was thinking about it, you know, the last few weeks. It hasn't really felt like Christmas this year, you know? It's like, I haven't heard any, you know, carols or, you know, I haven't seen any real Christmassy stuff when I've been out and about. Doesn't really, it's like, it kind of feels like it's just winter, you know? It's like, oh, it's December. It's like, oh, it's not Christmas, it's winter. It's like, oh, okay. It's like December. It's like, oh, yeah, it's the government name. Yes, of course. It's not Christmas. How sad is that, really, you know? I don't know if anyone else feels like that, though. I hope everyone else is not having the same, like, oh, it's just kind of December feeling. I hope I'm the only one having that problem. Because that would be kind of sad, all things considered. Because, man, it is not a thrilling feeling to be holden to, truly. Kind of feels like I'm mowing a lawn. Like I'm just kind of like swiping like through rows. Like I'm just circling a thing. Constant circling is definitely making me a little dizzy, but I'm having fun though. Picking up speed. No. Wait, can I just say the fact that it says it's only 12% kind of worries me? Oh, jeez. I feel like the constant spinning is definitely part of the satisfaction of this job, though. God, the time lapse is gonna look so good at the end. Good gravy. Open sesame. Now, it says here we've only done 14% of the full job, so I'm a little curious what the rest of the job's gonna be. Because we clearly have done, like, the grand majority of this thing. There's a roof sign, though, so I'm guessing that this thing raises up, then? I'm guessing as much? I have no earthly idea, to be honest. Eh, whatever. Find out soon enough, I think. The occasional moment of relief when my nose kind of, like, unplugs is like, oh, thank God. Oh, boy. I think conversely, I would also say I hope everybody is able to have a happy and healthy holiday season. I'm not sick, but it's like, I feel like having to go through something that feels like sickness is like, don't do that during the holidays. Like, come on now. That just sucks. You know, thinking about it, I feel like this game's greatest, like, hoist mechanically is that... Oh, there we go. I feel like mechanically this game's, like, greatest achievement is just making a it's a very simple task, but they've added like life to it by simply giving the player a thing, like a task that can be done in a satisfying manner. That's just nice, you know? It's like, oh geez. Oh, man. I was thinking again on the idea of cozy games, though. It's like, I don't know. I feel like it's... Like, the general definition of it should be a game that brings you comfort is enough, but... But I also think that there's a certain amount of, like... Something along the lines of, like, it shouldn't be a game that, like, overwhelmingly stresses you out when you're playing it, you know? At least I think so. One of those things where, you know, you're playing it and it shouldn't be like... It should be like a fun experience that gets your brain running, not something that makes you have to sprint, you know? That makes you sweat. 'Cause I guess that's the thing. It's like a game can be comforting without it being cozy, you know? Like, some people find certain, like, really hard games to be comfort games because there's something that they return to all the time. And I would not take that away from them that that's a cozy game for them. But I also think that it kind of skirts around it being 100% like cozy, as it were. Word cozy is going to mean nothing to me by the end of all this, isn't it? Yeah. But either way. Just something I've been thinking about with, like, when I chose this game for the week, I was kind of thinking, okay, well, what's the... You know, mechanically, what are they doing? And, you know, besides the fact that getting this whole dirt system working is quite a complex thing. Because you're projecting projecting textures onto a surface. And essentially you're telling the game, like, okay, you're going to have to remove this texture from this surface as like, you know, like a thing is being beamed onto the surface. That's a fair bit of actual mathematics that has to go into calculating how the model removes dirt from the surface. Like, it is actually quite a complex bit of like, you know, programming and engineering to get it to work right. But the fact they got it working as elegantly as they did, and it's super optimized, I think that's most impressive. But I'm definitely of the mind that it's like one of those things that feels like far more impressive than you would be led on to believe just by, like, you know, appearances. Because I definitely think this game, it kind of hides its greatest tricks right in front of you. You know, it's like, okay, how are you doing all this, you know, this texture stuff with the dirt? How are you doing all this stuff with the way that you're doing, like, the percentages, the systems, like, all that mathematics and all the 3D model, you know, work that you're doing. Also, just doing a great job of keeping the models, I would call them, like, in budget, I guess would be, like, for computers in general. Because that's something I'm always a bit surprised by with the first game, is that they were able to get so many detailed models in without it feeling like it breaks the bank. In this game, they clearly have kept up the practice, but they made it so it's more optimized. Because the loading times have been much faster. It's quite good. Well, those things just feel satisfying to see, you know? It's like, just like it's satisfying to, like, you know, clean the thing. It's like, oh, it's satisfying to see how the developers were able to make something like this happen. Like, see how they got it working. That's super neat. I think especially with the way that the way that they get the dirt off of it. Like, different segments, like, it makes you wonder, do they load up each model as a small segment? Like, is each one a different model, as it were? And then the exterior is, like, since the exterior, it has, like, 2 textures, and it handles its own collision. That's what it kind of makes you wonder, is, like, how do they handle collision with the water, you know? And how, like, not just collision with the water, but, like, collision with the player, too, you know? It's like, how do you handle all that? How do you do that? You know? And because it's quite impressive technically, on like a technical level rather. Because, I mean, look at it. It's like, how do you do this? I actually remember when I played the first game for the very first time, and you know, it's like as college dev, and also just like in general, just as a developer, I remember like spraying a surface and be like, wait a minute. Because it's you know, I had that same revelation when I first played this game. That's like, oh wait, they're doing something here that's like, whoa, how are you even doing that? You know, it kind of feels like a magic trick, right? Like, you know, you think about like, oh, we've been doing decals for like bullets forever, right? Like, oh, just spray a PNG on where the bullet hits the wall. Well, now you're doing it kind of like in the inverse order. Like, okay, there is a decal on the wall, you spray it and you remove it, but it's not a decal, it's a full texture, and you're removing only bits and pieces of it. And it really makes you wonder how they do it in like on the technology side, because it's like, oh, that's really, like, it's kind of wild, you know? You look at it, it's like, look at that. Like, just the sheer act of being able to do this, I don't think you'd have been able to do it in a bunch of other games. Because it kind of feels like a similar technology was used in Splatoon, you know, like, you know, to add a, you know, like add to a surface's, like 2D assets, as it were. Or is it like, oh, you're just projecting above like the surface or something, right? It's like, okay, what, how are you doing it? It does seriously feel like with this particular game, it feels like such a marvel that, you know, we don't think about it too often, but it's like when you do, it's like, oh, you go, whoa. Kind of makes you stop and think, you know? It's like, oh, how are they doing that? I don't know why I'm thinking of the, how to do that? You're sitting there thinking about it, like, oh. Like, yeah, it's like, you know, it's just cleaning, but it's like, oh, but then you look at it and you go, oh, look how cool the... It really does feel like, how do you begin to program this? And I straight up don't know right now. Like, I could probably look up something and see, like, you know, like, here's how, you know, like, somebody else did it, or copied it, or even just in general, like, oh, here's how they did it. But... honestly, I feel like I don't know if the answer would make me feel better or worse about the game, because I feel like it would make me feel better, you know, like, oh, this is actually super complex, but also, if they did do it in a super simple and elegant way, that would be just also like, oh, knowing the magic, is the trick still impressive? And it's like, well, it still is, yeah. I feel like even knowing the way the trick is done, I feel like I'd still be impressed by it, you know? But I guess in a way, video games... the act of getting something like this to happen it's the magic, right? Like, you want to offer a alternate reality. You want to do it in a way that's never been done before, in a way. And for a lot of people, I think it's in story and like characters, you know, and like gameplay, that they want to get players to enjoy themselves. But it's not often we get games that are just like so outside the normal scope that it really does actually change things. I think this game did that for cozy games, where it's like, oh, now we have, like... I think simulators became a form of coziness on their own. You know, like, when you pare down a game's, you know, like, a real-world thing to some, like, gamey mechanics, there's some things that... to, like, simplify it. You know, you simplify how you do a thing. I need to adjust my seat really quick. Hang on. Ah, jeez. I'm very much not with it today. That's alright, that's alright. Oh, I needed some more water. Jeez. Eh. Oh, jeez. All sniffly and gross. Oh, well, what are you gonna do? But, yeah, I think, like, you know, like, the games like this, though, change the gaming industry in ways that are... smaller, you know. It's like I feel like, I guess in a way, it's kind of where my complicated relationship with Clair Obscur is that it's not necessarily like it did anything new, you know what I mean? Like, but it did things that we understand and are familiar with in a way that is exceptionally excellent. You know, it's like, oh, it was a like a display of excellence that we haven't seen in a while. But at the end of the day, it's not like all of its pieces are brand new. It's not like everything's like a brand new concept. It's just that, okay, but when you do things at the highest level, and you show what the current potential of excellence is, you know, you put a lot of work into something and you do all this extra effort, it really does actually kind of prove, like, oh, this is how good it can be. But it's not like it's not like it really morphed the entire industry. If anything, what it really did was prove that the current AAA format isn't always going to work anymore. I guess it's true in general with gaming, is that it'll always keep evolving. And I think it would really take like a cultural decimation for anything for the like gaming as like a medium in a art field to ever really crack. But even then, you'd have people doing it on their own anyway, so what's the problem, really? I guess nowadays, with tools being so prevalent and, you know, the ability to make games at home being something that is not just normal, but expected, And I feel like with that, even if all of the AAA industry disappeared, I don't think the games industry would go with it. I think it would just be like, we just have a lot less, we'd have a lot less like big news about it. It would just be like, okay, people are, you know, forwarding the constant stream to see, okay, what games are coming out that we want to talk about. Kind of how it feels when you go check out indie games, really. It's like, it really does feel like you're kind of like opening up a ton of different things. Like you're opening up a river. You're going into a stream that is unfamiliar. Very fascinating, but in a way it is a bit like hard to navigate the space sometimes. It sometimes feels like, you know, you have to be a little bit discerning, you know, like you look at an indie game, you have to go, okay, is this going to be, I hate saying worth my time, but it's like, you don't want to download something that's disingenuous, you know, it's like, that's not really what you want to do. At the same time, it's fascinating sometimes when you find a weird, you know, indie gem that feels like, okay, what is this thing? I think Greener Grass Awaits might be one of the ones that I point to as like one of my favorite kind of weirdo games. Because I don't think there's anything about Greener Grass Awaits that makes logical sense. That game is wild, but it's so good. Such a fascinating game too. And it's like but it's not, you know, it doesn't go any further deeper than Spooky Golf, but it's also like, yeah, but that Spooky Golf is really interesting. Oh man, my neck. Ah. Oh, jeez. Falling apart today, it seems. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Just gotta keep going. I'm sure by the end of the day I will be quite satisfied. So am I gonna have to clean the inside as well? Because it seems like I have to. Unless I'm mistaken. Ah. Huh. Outer wall, outer base. Oh, this one. Oh. There you go. Okay, can I just say, I know that it's not... I know it's not because of the toilet, but... Oh man, this is like that bathroom that James Sunderland was in the beginning of Silent Hill 2. Just like, look at it. That's the mirror he looked at his own face in. Just looking at your reflection, and it's playing the freaking music. I actually found out I've been playing custom DLC for Rocksmith on my own time, because nothing quite says I need to be a nerd like learning video game music on the guitar. But I did also find that they had they had Silent Hill 2's, they had Theme of Laura, which I believe is the song that plays at the end of the game. I might be mistaken, but I think it is. But I remember the theme because it's very important, and I just remember I seeing it on there. I was like, oh, I'm gonna play this on guitar and playing. Oh man, sent me right back to Silent Hill with that one. It's funny that I see something. I see a grimy bathroom. My brain's like, ah yes, James Sunderland was here. Poor James. Thanks. That quote. Probably, I think that might be one of my favorite quotables, along with, I'm thinking of Mimi from Tales of the Abyss. I'm thinking of that time when he started going, where he was like spamming the wings button. Like, beep, beep, beep. I was thinking about, that is one clip from streaming that I think about sometimes. It does come back to my brain sometimes, and it is always funny. Grateful that I kept as many clips as I did, I'll be honest. Sure, the fire chief's dog's gone missing. Oh good, another missing animal. Sure, this won't be precipitous. Is the dog gonna have puppies? Or is the dog gonna be like a space ranger or something? Oh jeez, ah. Freaking nose. Happy I grabbed more than just a paper towel, but like, yeah, I'm getting that like, you know that feeling where you kind of feel like an 18th century peasant dying of tuberculosis, where it's like all your bones start to go, yeah. You kind of look like that picture of Mung Dal. He's like, chowder, chowder, my boy. That's what it feels like right now. It feels like all my bones are like cracking. Ugh. Is this what Edgar Allan Poe felt like when he was writing whichever one was his famous story? I'm not gonna lie, I have a book of Edgar Allan Poe and I read some of it. I don't know. It's like I got through a couple. I went through and read his poetry. His poetry is much better than his short stories. I'll be honest. It's one of those things where, you know, like you have like an expectation of excellence when it comes to like, you know, legends. You know, like you're told like, oh, these guys are the American writing greats, and you go and read their stuff, and it's like, oh, they're all right. I always feel like it feels like such a. It always feels like you're like someone, you're like disrespecting them by being like, oh, what do you mean that you don't think they're the most, you know, like the best thing America's ever done? It's like, I don't know, man. Like, have you seen, like, I don't know, modern, like, I feel like just because something is revered as a classic doesn't make it automatically a good piece of writing, you know? Like, sometimes a thing is a classic because it was exemplary for its time. Doesn't mean that it necessarily is, like, I guess in a way, Clair Obscur could feel the same way, where it's like, maybe in 10 or 15 years, people are going to be like, oh yeah, it's whatever, you know, like, oh, it was good for its time. It's like, oh. They turn their nose at it, well, because we're not, because people are still talking about that, and they're not talking about modern classic Flimborp the Fifth or something. You know, it's like, but I guess it's just in general, you know, like when it comes to the classics, you know, TM. I think that's kind of how like Final Fantasy VII, my relationship with that was for a while. It's just like, it's like, oh, I can recognize the flaws in it, but not because I'm like trying to be contrarian. It's just like, oh no, it's just because, oh, not even because the game is bad. It's just literally like, oh, I don't have the emotional nostalgia for it, so it's harder for me to picture that in a way. I guess that's one thing that makes classics feel different, is if you ran into it at a very formative period of your life. I guess now I'm thinking about classics, I'm thinking about like literature, I'm thinking of God, I'm thinking about Catcher in the Rye, and God, that's such a shitty book. I have no better way to describe it. That's such an awful book. It's just a teenager being a spoiled brat for like 100+ pages. It's like, God, someone get this kid a ham sandwich and a Coca-Cola and slap him in the forehead. Like, good lord, man. Like, it's not like he ever learns to be better. He just thinks that he thinks the world's kind of crappy because he's not the main character he thought he was. So he got punched in the stomach. By a dude, and it's like, he's just like, oh God, what is pain? And he realizes that pain sucks. It's like, and then it's like, oh, that's American classic. It's like, is it? Why is it an American classic? It has the same energy to me whenever I hear like, oh, the movie blockbuster of the year. It's some like, oh, it's a rom-com or something that's just like, oh, it's a romance movie with, here's your, hunky-dory guy of the week. Made in a lab to be the most milquetoast dude ever made. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad writing. It's just kind of like, if you're in a position to not be taken in by the first appearances, you're kind of just like, okay, like, by the accolades, like, I'm thinking, like, with Catcher in the Rye, it's like, oh, I remember in high school, it was like, oh yeah, it's being touted as, like, this outstanding piece of writing, and it's like, I don't know, man. It's decently paced. It's just like, man, what a crappy story to get lost in, It's like, why would you want to be in here? You're watching a teenager be a little dork, and he's like, it's like, yeah, teenagers are stupid. Do I want to watch one do something dumber than I would do? No. Like, geez, man. What an escape! What a wonderful thrill to see a kid be kind of just an idiot. Ah, whatever. But with gaming, it's a similar thing, It's like and in some ways, the transformations are sometimes more invisible than we expect. Like, we expect something like Clair Obscur or, Final Fantasy VII or some of these other games to be like, they're the only thing transforming the medium, and it's like, no. The thing with history is that the big events are kind of more like glorified goal like checkpoints, you know. But the changing in history, you know, like when it comes to like the medium or, you know, like the passing of an entire civilization, it's like it doesn't happen overnight with like one singular release. It's like it doesn't change everything instantly. You know, these things reverberate, they echo, and you know, over time the signal is changed. And in a way, I think it's also true though that, you know, you watch a game come out and it's like, oh, interesting, but it's like it doesn't immediately, you know, it's not like that's the only game changing the medium. Because for Final Fantasy VII, it's like, oh, there's Legend of Dragoon, there's stuff like the Super Nintendo's library as it was growing. You know, not just the big games, but the little ones that were making little jumps in gaming technology. Even before those games, though, I'm thinking of like, you know, the Super Nintendo. I'm thinking of the game that came immediately to mind for some reason was when we played Stunt Race FX, where it's like, oh yeah, like how do you handle 3D graphics in a system that really isn't meant for it? You know, it's like it doesn't have a dedicated 3D processor type stuff. How do you begin to handle this stuff? And those little innovations are like deeply important, you know. I asked the railing so I can grip down while I'm taking the Megaton Porcelain Destroyer 9000 in this bathroom. Look at that. I know it's supposed to be like an accessibility rail, but in my head, this ActRaiser. Yes, ActRaiser too. Yeah, it's like, see, it's like you know, like I think games like sometimes games change the medium and change the industry through the little things they do. You know, it's like those little like flourishes, those like, oh, this idea that gets carried through the memes for, you know, hundreds of games onward. You know, like ActRaiser's platforming. I kind of unironically, I feel like that's sort of what I was. What's been like kind of guiding my hand invisibly while I've been working on my, you know, on my part-time job has been like, oh yeah, because ActRaiser's, you know, 2D platformer that does all these things really well. And it's like, yeah, so you want to grab those ideas and use them when you can, you know. And art, and like, you know, like any art form, gaming is gonna evolve constantly, and there's always gonna be counter movements, and you know, some people have schools of thought like they want to do this, and there's millions of genres and different types. And there's so many things that gaming can do. And games like this are wonderful because they kind of offer gaming as sort of a Zen garden, you know? Kind of offers it as a, like, offering a game that has a goal but not a impetus, you know? It's not exactly like you're sitting there thinking like, oh, I'm gonna be like the world's greatest cleaner. It's like, oh, I'm gonna be the master of all of this world. It's like, no, you're sitting there like, oh, I want to clean stuff. Even just the act of restraint in, oh, the cleaning is the whole thing, is like, it's kind of like, in a way, almost like freeing, you know? Like, oh, this game really is just you're washing stuff, that's it. You know, it's like, oh, how liberating to think that the stakes are just, oh, I want this thing done. Like, the satisfaction of a job well done is enough for you, you know? Oh, that's nasty. Like, how lovely is that, you know, that something like this can just be. And like games like ActRaiser, you know, it's like, and like, I would say also, like, the thing with, I mentioned earlier Triangle Strategy. I think Triangle Strategy was, to me, it felt like, you know, in hindsight with, you know, the knowledge of the Final Fantasy Tactics series, at least knowing about it, thinking more how it fused genres of side-scrolling platforms, town building, God Simulator. That's true too. I think like, well, it's like, you see, like it did like experiments, you know, like pioneering stuff. Like you're doing fusions in ways that don't immediately make sense to the current audience, you know, like ActRaiser doing that sort of stuff is like, oh, that's crazy. You know, you look at it and go, oh, look at that. And like ActRaiser Renaissance added the, you know, like the things that added to that. It's like, okay, we've taken it's the first time I'd ever seen that as a kid, where it's like, I think genre fusion in general, it's like, oh, seeing like stuff like ActRaiser does is so cool. Expressly because, oh, we don't often get to see games being put together in a way. Like the pieces of different puzzles have been put together and it still makes a full picture. How cool is that? You are right though, that's a good point. But it's not always in like, I would even say that just doing that is just saying, okay, take two component, you know, disparate pieces, put them together, what do you get? And it's like, it's not a massive jump in logic, it's just, okay, this is a move that hasn't been replicated yet. It's not a move that's been done as often yet. Actors are doing it, it's just, it is, like, really good at it. But, like, I'm thinking now that triangle strategy, it's like, knowing now what I know about Final Fantasy Tactics, at least from, like, the outside, I kind of feel like triangle strategy feels like more like it's a mark of excellence, like quite obscure, where it's like, it's a example of excellence, not a brand new thing that's, like, going to destroy all of its, like, all the other possibilities. It's more like, oh, this is, like, I think triangle strategy is probably one of the best versions of the, like, the 2D, the 2.5D tactics, you know? Like, I've seen it in Pokemon Conquest and, like, you know, Final Fantasy Tactics, obviously, but it's not, it's, you know, it's like, oh, but triangle strategy did it in such a way that was, you know, beyond excellent. Really, really good. Yeah, need some more water. Ah, my nose. Ah, jeez. Like, my nose is dripping, and I'm like, please stop. It's like, please don't. Yeah, as I was saying, though, I think, like, games like this, though, kind of prove, in some weird ways, that the sleight of hand of doing a neat trick can sometimes be more than enough to prove a point. I think this game's point, really, is that sometimes the best thing you could do is, you know, improve the place you're in. Both in terms of, like, your, you know, the profession, but also, like, oh, in the little ways, you know? I feel like if PowerWash Sim had a real point, it's that it's the, you know, the satisfaction of doing something right and doing something nice. And then also the joy of like, putting a place back where it's supposed to be. You know, you put something away, you clean up, you do something nice. It's like that alone can be satisfying, even without, you know, a monetary reward. Kind of puts you in the mindset of, like, the guy, like, whoever this character is that you're playing as, because, at least from my understanding, the dude literally just wants to clean. Or the dudette. I don't know. Thankfully, this suit is androgynous as all heck, so who knows. Actually, it does make for quite a wonderful, like, self-projection. Because there's no real character there besides, like, the occasional odd quirk. Like, that the person who cleans has, but besides that, it's really just like, oh yeah, it's, you know, it's a pretty easy slate to project yourself on to clean stuff. Because most people are not, you know, cleaning, you know, they're not cleaning PowerWash Sim to get a gripping story, you're cleaning to clean. And the joy is in the job. I'm shoving my face all over this toilet. I bid this toilet be clean. Come all ye faithful, friggin' toilet. Oh boy. We are at the hour mark. Hope everyone's doing well, like I said. I do hope that, of all things, I hope that the holidays give us a chance to be grateful and to enjoy some good things, and not a chance for relatives to yell at each other. That is the goal, that is the prize. Seek the joy in this holiday season. I know for my part, I will be eating cookies and having punch on Thursday. I guess on the schedule stuff. That is also why we're doing the, where's the rest of this damn toilet dirty? Let's see. Where's the dirt? Have to spray it like a weird angle. Where is the dirt? Can you lift the lid? Maybe? Ah! You know what? Thank you. You know what? Good. You know what? You know what? That is something I'm not quite used to, is that I remember in the first game there wasn't a whole lot of interactables. There was a few. Like, the carousel had some interactables, but most of the maps didn't really do interactables that much, so I'm gonna have to remember that. I guess, you know, it's like you think like a sequel to PowerWashing Sim, that, you know, there wouldn't be a whole lot to you know, innovate on, but besides the technical jumps and the, you know, the new missions, I guess funny thing, even just stuff like that is like, oh, this is a jump. Like, okay, I have to actually routinely interact with the environment, like, in small ways as well. Didn't even think about that. Currently working, mall is still open, Saturday, Sunday, I clock total of 25 hours, so wait, between 2 days, 25 hours? That's like 12, that's like more than 12 a day. What, huh? Good lord, man. Hope you're able to get some breaks, good god. 12 plus hours? That's nasty work. Goodness. I hope people are being grateful for your work, because holy crap. That's a lot. Where's the damn dirt? Good gracious, man. 25 hours in 2 days. That is far too much. It's too much? Oh, I see. They put the paper towels in a plastic thing. I see. Those paper towels must be, like, so fragile. That's like half-ply toilet paper, I swear. The illustrious square root of 1 toilet paper. Ugh. That stuff probably feels like chalk. That's kind of nasty. Actually, not to say it. Oh yes, the chalky toilet paper that's some nasty work. That's gross. Ugh. This feels like the weirdest, like, 1950s looking bathroom, though. I do like the safety orange, though. Oh, God. Saturday got most of that because coworkers at a hospital, a few things didn't line up correctly. Oh, I see. I'd have still worked 12 to 12 a.m. because of last minute shopping. Blech. Yeah, I'm getting this vibe from what I heard about, like, the number of people out that were out today that... So I didn't go out myself today, but I did hear that, yeah, apparently the people were out in force doing last-minute Christmas stuff, and I don't personally get that, because I feel like with good planning, you never have to do that sort of stuff, but... Good God. What a nightmare. For all the retail, like, salespeople and, like, retail workers, I hope you understand that your work is appreciated. It's a task that goes very... like, if you have to work in a space where with people, like, no, it's appreciated. At all times. Like, you have to deal with people far more often than I would be able to survive. I hope that... Man, I just hope that, you know, you're able to get your breaks where you can. Good gravy. There we go. Inner floor, surround. Go. Almost done. Spider. Oh, jeez. No, butterfly. But, yeah, no, that's just rough. Man. Eh. Yeah, I'm trying to let my throat rest a little bit. I do apologize if I go quiet for a little bit. Like, trying to make sure that I balance out letting my nose and throat rest a little bit before talking too much, but... It's funny because when I'm streaming, the yapathon never stops. My brain just goes like, nope, time to yap. Talking must continue. Today, tomorrow, Wednesday, I only have 6 hours per day, if I recall correctly, then Christmas, the mall's closed. Well, that's good. The fact that you have to work Christmas Eve, though, does make me a little sad, but I also recognize that the world does have stuff functioning on Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Day, that's the... It's like the mandated holiday, as I understand it. I guess it's because in my professional life, I've never not had the week from Christmas Eve to New Year's Day off. That it doesn't quite always reach me at times. Consider that it's like, yeah, it's not the same anymore. There we go. It's not the same for everybody, for sure. Oh, man. Yeah, it's like my shoulders have that, like, achiness. That one frame of me standing up on stuff. I don't know, it's just really funny. I like that they have the different camera angles for that. That's actually really cool. Alright, go to home base. I like that the time lapses, they actually added the second camera. That's cool. That's interesting. Alright, so we have a new job in Power Falls. We have to go help that couple. Let's see, where's that? I don't know why it just occurred to me, but here we go. How do I put it down? Retro rug is ready to wash in the indoor... What? Indoor... Oh, they have a running animation now. That's cool. What the heck? Oh, we're buying... we're buying used furniture. I see. I see. Ah. Oh, jeez. Alright, swipe it over. There we go. Ah, the edges. The edge. There we go. Oh, now I can place it wherever I want. I see. Place the clean furniture in the main room of the home base. Okay. I place it. How do I place it down? Retro rug has been put into storage. Let's see. How do I lower it is the question. It seems to desire to float above. How do I put it down? How do I put this down? I'm trying to figure it out. I want to place it. How do I place it? How do I put it? Oh. How do I put it down? Okay, question. If I put it down... How do I put it down? Let me look at the controls really quick, because maybe I'm just using the controls silly. Maybe it's interact. Maybe it's interact. Ah, there we go. Okay, it's down. So if I bring it... Can I put it up here? Oh, this room. Okay, so this room we can't put it in. Okay, I see. Well, I know... Okay, well, there's the big doors. Double big doors. Put it here. Just because I want to see what this game has to offer in terms of the customization. We'll do this really quick and we'll get this set up really fast. Whimsical sofa. This kind of feels like a replacement for the, you know, the jobs where you'd clean up the vehicles and stuff inside your base of operations. Because they used to have jobs like that pretty, like, throughout the game. You know, you do the van, you do the car, the bicycle. Kind of feels like instead of those, we're doing these, where we have to, you know, clean up stuff. I kind of like that. I don't know, there's something very... There's something nice about, oh, we can also get ourselves some furniture. That's pretty neat. This home base like, having a home base to call home is, like, you know, actually make into a home is kind of nice. Not just it's not just you have a, like, you have a menu. Because I guess that's one thing the first game didn't really do, is you didn't really have a place to sit in, you know? This. Okay, so it's snappy. Oh, but it's like just a little bit. Oh, there we go, okay. I get it. Does it flush the wall? No, it's not. Oh, God. I'm, like, trying to get it just right. Oh, God. Oh, God, I'm gonna try to get this, right for so long, aren't I? There we go. Close enough? Yeah, good enough. Okay, exit placement mode. Can I sit in it? Nice. Alright, you know what? I kind of appreciate that. I don't know, I like that stupid couch. It makes me happy. I don't know why it makes me think of the, it's that couch bit in the Family Guy Star Wars. And they're trying to steal the couch. I don't know why. Let's see. Let me know when you found the place already headed for home. Camping is definitely not for us. So yeah, definitely seems like how did this place get so dirty? I'm guessing it's the campsite is next to a swamp. Ah, yes. Well, this is nice. Nice place. Ladders over here. I'll probably have to use the ladder to get on top of the house. Let's see. Ladder. 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 Okay. Just puts it back down. Okay, that's fine. I'm guessing this is sort of like the church level. Where it's just, ah yes, the miracle of ducks. Yes, of course. Understandable. Did happen to get a good and unexpected surprise today after I added more RAM to my PC today. Oh, very good, very good. What'd you get? Like, what was the surprise? Sounds nice, though. I guess it's good to have some pleasant surprises, you know? It's like, it's very easy for life to be like, oh, we should have some, like, bad surprises. Like, no, having a pleasant one, wonderful. Really outstanding when it's just a nice surprise. Sometimes it do just be nice when something good, like something unequivocally good just happens. That's always nice. Let's see. Start with this. Blim. I think I want to get the ledge really quick, or like get this part. Oh boy. Oh, jeez. I feel like this is the kind of stuff, though, where, like, the satisfaction also it doesn't give way to anything. Probably the thing with these kind of games that I feel like would be the most worrying is if there was something to kind of ruin the vibes, as it were. It's nice that this game kind of just feels like fishing, you know? It feels a bit like that, like, from what I understand about fishing, at least. Launch oxygen not included, as she say, has my save file. I had on the other PC that went down. Oh, that's good. That's real good. I'm guessing, I know Steam has a cloud service for save files sometimes, but I didn't realize it would do that. That's cool. Very good. Oh man, what was I on about? Fishing. I said something about fishing, and I'm just thinking now that I don't think I've ever been fishing and had the experience that I was supposed to get out of it. But I know that, like, video game fishing I get, because, you know, I can, you know, it's I feel like it's more satisfying for me, but I think it's definitely because my experience in real life fishing has been nothing but bad luck. Straight up, I don't think I've ever physically caught a fish. I have gone fishing more than like a dozen times, and I don't think I've ever actually caught anything. I remember the last time I went fishing. I think it might have been that one time when I was off the side of a river, had a day license. Because I was invited to go fishing. It was alright. Much more about the company than the fishing, to be honest. I guess that's the point of, like, sometimes we're fishing, you know? It's like, it's not really about, like, catching anything. It's about what you're doing, you know? It's much less about the actual act of catching something. Sometimes it really is just that you're there for the vibes. I guess in a way that's kind of the point of like an activity like fishing nowadays, where it's like you don't really need to do it, you know, unless you live in a space where, you know, fishing is a must and a necessity. Then, you know, kind of important to catch something. But, you know, for the most part, it's kind of just like, no, you're gonna go. Might need to move the ladder. You know, I will do. I'm gonna move the ladder to the other side. There we go. I'm so bad at fishing, I feel sorry for the fish I catch. Well, and I guess that's kind of I guess it's the pro to my current fishing record is that I have never caught a fish, so it's like, I feel bad that I am that, like, not enticing, but I think it's funny that it's far more comedic to me that I am, like, comically bad at fishing for some reason than it is, oh, I'm upset, I never catch anything. It's like, yeah, well, you know what? I think it's funny that I have such an unbroken record at being bad at it, you know? It's like, you know, it kind of feels like, well, have you probably caught something? It's like, no, seriously. it's like unironic. It's like, you know, it isn't like with a shred of sarcasm that I say that I have caught nothing. Which I think is hilarious, because it's like, you know, for all the things I'm good at, I'm actually kind of bad at the things that aren't, like, my brain can make games out of anything, but for some reason when it comes to, like, certain skills that are not, you know, to put it nicely, when it comes to stuff that isn't really game related, or I can't make it into a competition of some sort, I'm actually kind of bad at it. Like fishing, you'd think that would be like a thing I could get around through, because, you know, like, fishing can be a competition, especially if you're going for, like, the biggest fish, or, you know, something like that. Not so, apparently. I don't know what the deal is. Still not sure what the deal is. One day I'll figure it out, but not today. I guess what I'm saying, though, is that, like, some activities are meant to be like fishing, and it's just something for you to do that is peaceful, you know? Like, I guess that might be the crux of cozy to me, is it's not necessarily that there's a lacking of conflict, but more so that you are peaceful. The thing, like, Stardew Valley is considered a very cozy game, despite the fact that you fight slimes in caves sometimes, but it's like, most people focus on the farming and the, like, hitting on the guy at the shop or whatever. I actually don't know much about Stardew Valley. But the TLDR is that it's like, it kind of seems like, well, it's about the fact that, you know, it's a generally quaint and peaceful life. How lovely. But it's got to be, you know, still stimulating, still got to be interesting, but it's like, you know, it's more than just fluff, you know? Not just coffee shop AUs and the what have you. Oh, boy. Man, I look forward to the day that, like, I don't know, do they still do coffee shop AUs? Is that still a thing that people do? I hope so. I feel like I would be kind of sad if they stopped doing that. Oh, they split into two halves, I see. I understand. Don't know why that thought's stuck in my head right now, but now I'm thinking about it, like, do coffee shop AUs still exist? Because I feel like, I don't know, of stories, it's like, it's funny to me to think about it, you know, just like, oh, this is the default for cozy writing, where it's like, oh, we're taking a break from all that high-octane action, we're just gonna have characters in a simple place, and they're gonna be mentally just like, the biggest worry is, does the person like me? It's like, well, ain't that just nice? Let's see. Maybe something else, huh? Someone's like, you're living in a lawless wilderness. Well, yeah, that's how it works. The animals do not care for the law, Vicky. I haven't been camping in a while either. Then again, I guess I've kind of evolved into being I guess to put it in an analogy sort of way, I'm kind of an indoor cat at this point, or an indoor fox rather. But I guess just because it's like, you know, I got so used to dealing with, you know, the stuff I do, that it's like, because I just don't really I don't get to do a lot of the, you know, really rugged outdoor stuff very often. Certainly know how to, I just don't have a chance to, really. Because, you know, you don't want to go camping by yourself, because that's just, you know, recipe for danger. You know, you're not gonna... It's not really a wise decision to make a habit of doing the most extreme stuff alone. You know, and a lot of my friends work night shifts and work like until nighttime anyway, so I don't really have people to like do that stuff with all the time. Most of my friends actually only wake up around like noon or like 1, so it's like usually if I want a game nowadays, it's been like afternoon stuff. It's an interesting development because it means that, you know, like for me as a morning person, I have to kind of adjust. Gaming habits do kind of change a person, I think. Not just time of day, but like what do you go to in your, like, you know, your moments of solitude? I know at some point next year I'm probably gonna have another you know, burst of play Skyrim off stream every once in a while kind of thing. I've had it happen a few times. I don't mention it in my tier lists because I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it's like notable of a thing. It's just like, oh, it's a week. It's like a week where I play 1 or 2 save files, and you know they're modded, so it's not really not really that important, really. And it's like, oh yeah, by the time I'm done, I'm just like, oh, yep, pretty happy with what I got done, you know. Got to do some more. Got to revisit some familiar places, and that's it, really. And that kind of feels like. Doesn't feel like it's like a notable gaming experience off stream. I do know that in terms of gaming experiences that have been notable off stream, I am probably gonna have a fair bit to talk about with mobile gaming this time. Might add Star Rail back to the list just so I can talk about it again. I want to go through my tier lists, and I wanted to do like the kind of like to do some charts, you know, do a presentation of some kind to talk about it. So I feel like 4 years of streaming at this point, I feel like I could probably, you know, talk about a fair bit of like, okay, here's the games that I really, that like, not just like clinical, like, oh, they performed well or whatever, but more just also like, okay, what games did I play and how are they still standing? You know, stuff like that. Weh. I feel like my technique with this washer is not as refined as it could be. Kind of a shame, all things considered. Freaking nose. Nose, bub. Okay. Give me little dots where I didn't wash, but that's fine. I'll get it later. Oh, God. Ew. I hope everybody... I have a question. How many people in chat, how many of you guys make Christmas lists? Like, you know, you write up like an actual list of stuff that you hand to somebody else for like Christmas. Kind of curious because it just kind of occurred to me because I was thinking about it. Like, you know, I made a list and I actually handed it off to the people I care about. Like, you know, the people I do Christmas with, where it's like, I don't know, because I am very much a list maker when it comes to that stuff. I don't know how many people do that still. Because I know I do. It's probably one of my favorite activities for the season. There we go. I think mostly because you know, it's like, it's a nice thing to remind me, like, oh, it's Christmas. It's Christmas. I like the Senior Palo videos with the Moki. Christmas. That's pretty much me on the day of Christmas. Just a little gremlin. I think it's because like years of being kind of like the gremlin during Christmas is like, it still weighs on me. In a way, not like weighs on me like that, but like, yeah, it's one of those things that like it stays with you if you're like you're a fiend for the holiday spirit. Truly, it is something special when you're mentally like, yep, time for Christmas, as they say. My nose. Hang on. Yeah, my nose is all stuffy. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah. 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 My nose, my whole body was just like, oh, God. Oh, geez, sleep is going to be wonderful today. I already tell I'm going to have a fun time falling asleep with my nose acting like this. I have to take something. Oh, well, what are you going to do? See, to be honest, I don't really have any family still that does that, and after quite a while, I just accept gifts, mainly money that's given. Oh. I mean, it's like, I guess it's good that everyone's still exchanging stuff, but like, man, there's money. Aw. It's just like, I guess that's where why my holiday spirit is so like fervent. Now I think about it. Because I make a list of like, you know, stuff, you know, like exciting things, as it were. What am I picking up? Man, I don't know. It's like money just feels like, I don't know. Feels very I guess it's in my head, it feels very, like, impersonal, but I guess I understand it, though. You know, it's all those things where, like, I understand that people still do that, but I know for me personally, gifts are a very personal thing. Because I feel like, you know, trying to search for a good gift for somebody is always, like, it's kind of like a thing I just kind of get. Like, I guess to also ad breaks down. I do understand, you know, doing money as a gift, but I always feel like, I don't know, and this is definitely a me thing. I always feel like gifts are a very personal expression of, you know, of familiarity with somebody else. And it's like, I always feel like if your gift doesn't speak to them, it's not a good gift. You know, it's like, yeah, it's a fine gift if you know, it's like, you know, it's impersonal, but it's something that, you know, gets the job done, as it were. But I know for me personally, it's like, I will sit and agonize over somebody's gift and try to get, like, not the perfect gift, but, like, the best gift I can do. Because it's also a matter of, like, expressing, like, what do I feel about this person? Which, ironically, is, like, if I give somebody a gift card, I feel like that's the most blatant, like, listen, man, we're on some ice that can crack, you know? Like, if I'm gonna hand you a gift card as a gift, it's like, oh yeah, we're clearly not as close as like that person might think we are. Thankfully, I don't do that. And it's just like, it's one of those things where I very much am, though, the type where it's like, I think about the gift I get. Like, if it's gonna be something like, you know, from like a show or something, it's like, okay, what do they already have? What characters do they like? You know, stuff like that. But yeah, I will, if I really like somebody, I will probably agonize for a good long while about what I'm getting them, and I will sit there figuring it out. Sometimes it also is just a matter of, like, you know, showcasing a feeling to somebody, you know, like, I know that, you know, it's like in times when I've been romantically involved, it's like, I will very much, like, find, like, okay, this is a thing to, you know, like, reaffirm and profess. Something shared, as it were. Actually, I remember the one time I got a necklace. I got a necklace once that was like, you know, there are many layers of symbolism in that one, and it was like, oh, that's very nice. It's like, it's one of those things that I quite pride myself on gift giving. I do a lot of thought to it. Even if it's something relatively simple, you know, it's like, okay, if it's gonna be something as simple, it's like, okay, but what does it mean? Sometimes it's pragmatic, like, you know, I like my brothers this year, I'm like, it's something that both fills a utility role in terms of, you know, keeping the mind busy, but there's just never been a thing with my family. We all just sort of go to the mall, look at stuff we want, and then split up and buy things. Ah, I see. That also, well, that turns it into a family activity, which is, I think that's also quite nice. I know that ever since I've been able to drive, it's been one of those, I usually go on my own to go get something. Like, there's usually, like, these people who sell stuff at my local mall that I usually will go get jewelry. Like, my mom likes the dangly earrings and stuff, like, and I try to find new ones, you know, ones for new designs, and try to do that sort of stuff. Also, I guess in a way, sometimes I look for things that are, you know, it's meant to be a message. Things that most of my requests would be things that would be easily mistaken for someone else. My uncle dad asked me one year for something, I requested anime DVDs of anything other than what I have written it down. They mistook it as get these. Ah, I see. I understand. Yeah. Well, like, miscommunication for stuff like that can be really sad. You know, it's like, oh, the gift, you have to sit there and be like, oh, thanks. And you have to, like, mentally clock in that that's like, oh, this is definitely not the thing we were talking about. I do understand that. But I do feel like when it's a family activity, like Nahamaha put down, it's like, I feel like that's closer to what I remember, you know, stuff like that. Because I usually, like, you know, when I couldn't drive, it's like, okay, drive to the mall. I'll be given money. Like, my grandma would give me money to get stuff for my mom, and I'd be like, all right, cool. Usually would buy stuff. There was this guy who did, like, woodwork, and I would buy stuff from him for a good long while. I think he's still around. I just, you know, this year I was like, oh, earrings. Funny, too, because I found... Because, you know, it's like I also try to put, like, messages, not, like, written things, but, like, you know, I think it's writer brain doing this one, where I will straight up like use a lot of like imagery and symbolism to like confer meaning. Whether it's like even read into or not is irrelevant. It's just like, oh, but I did it. I know this is here, so I'm okay with that. Like this year, it's like, oh, I got Dreamcatcher, 4-leaf clover, foxes. I actually found fox earrings, which I was like, oh, okay, cool. Get those from my ma. Those are nice. I like those. They also look very pretty. It's like moon, fox, nice. Which I think, which I'm like, you know, just like, I think that it's like, I appreciate the imagery of this. Yeah, jeez. But like with gift giving, I don't know. It's like, for me, it's like, it's always something that I will stop and think over before I ever do that. But I also am very much a, I'm very much a person who like cares, who like, if I care about somebody, it's gonna be like, probably more than I should. Which I think is like also why I've had to be very careful after my first couple years of streaming, where it's like, if I try to make like, you know, like try to make friends or like do collab stuff, I have to be careful. I had to basically kind of train myself out of immediately attaching to people, which is such a tragic thing to say. But it is true though, you know, it's like I had to kind of tell myself like, you know, hey, don't immediately jump to attaching to these people. You know, start slow, catch back up. But it's mainly because I had a few things where it's like, What do you think though? I asked my grandmother from North Carolina for Yu-Gi-Oh cards. She got me the knockoffs by mistake. I'm curious where you find knockoffs, because I feel like it's harder to find knockoffs at this point than it is to find the like actual game's cards. Kind of impressed by your grandma. How the heck? How do you find those? It's kind of impressive. Like, I remember seeing a few knockoff cards of Yu-Gi-Oh cards back in the day, but I don't remember ever seeing them at stores. That's interesting. Huh. Wonder where those even showed up from. Most concerning. But yeah, no, it's like, I feel like with, you know, it's like with, for me, it's like if I give a gift of some kind, it's like, I think that's also like where it's like if somebody ever like disrespects that, I always feel a little bit like, I don't know how best to put it other than like snippy. Like I get like kind of, I am not the nicest person if somebody like, if I give somebody something, they're just like, yeah, whatever. Like, bruh, it's a gift. What do you mean? I think it is because, you know, it's like you put time and effort to think about stuff for somebody. It's like, bruh, sit there going like, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? Ah, jeez. Chair. This is the chair I watched the werewolves approach from. This is the chair that the guy who wrote all those songs for Powerwolf was sitting in while he watched werewolves run across the countryside. And they stormed the Holy Land or whatever. I'm pretty sure that's what happened in the Powerwolf songs. Please wipe your paws. Oh, that's adorable. I like this house a lot. I don't know, this little cabin is very cute. Look at that. Man. But yeah, no, it's just like, yeah, but I think gift giving is like, it's important to me. Oh, I guess speaking of, I'm just thinking of like, I don't know, I went to gift giving, jumped to other, you know, like other events that you'd be giving gifts and birthdays and stuff. Along with seeing my nephew's birthday, that was fun. Something similar happened with Lord of the Rings. I forgot which, but I asked for the games, or I think the books and got the other. Ah, I see. It's like, you know, you want the video game, or you used to want something that you get handed books. It's like, ah, I see. Well, time to start reading, I guess. Oh, interesting. Kind of amazing in a way, you know? It's like, wow. Kind of wondering how many mistranslations happen for gifts like that. You know what I'm thinking of right now? I don't know what just like spurt, like, I don't know, thinking about this gift giving mistranslation thing. I'm thinking of like the Christmas scene in the movie Babe. Does anybody know this movie? You know, it's about the pig who learns how to herd sheep and stuff. And there's the border collie who's like his adoptive mom. Anyone know this movie? You know, That'll Do Pig? To be fair, I ended up getting both and enjoying them those. Well, that's good. It's good when a gift turns out to be like an accident, but also a blessing in disguise. That's always nice. Everything out here has legs, even the logs. Hey, the logs seem fine. But I'm thinking of that. I'm thinking of that dollhouse scene where the old guy does the dollhouse, and the granddaughter's not very grateful for it. Such a shame. But birthday stuff, yeah, birthday stuff. For the first time in all my streaming career, I will actually be able to stream on my birthday. It's a combination of I don't really have any plans this year for it. I usually have like very in-person plans for it, but this year I do not because just circumstances. And I'm also like, oh well, it's a Tuesday, so you know I'm not gonna be able to get people because people are back to work on Tuesday. So I was like, oh well, what am I gonna do? So I actually decided it's like, oh well, it's the 1 year it works out where I can stream on my birthday. And not only do I not like feel like guilty about it because it's like, oh, like, you know, like, oh, I should be doing something with my friends. Like, well, I quite literally have an open night. So it's kind of like, well, maybe this will be the year I do that, you know? Like, this will be the year we do the birthday stream. Because it seems like everybody does like a special stream for their birthday, and it's like I tend not to. Because, you know, it's usually during my winter break, you know, and all that stuff, all the jazz, as it were. Yeah, and we're gonna... I'm not sure yet what game I'll be doing. I kind of want to choose something that's like a me pick. I've been kind of kicking around some ideas, because I want to do something, you know, it's like, you know, a me game, you know, something for... like, choosing the game as its own birthday present, you know? I'm like, but I haven't really decided what game that's gonna be. I might put it up to a poll. Kind of want to get you the tactics game, though. Ooh. Ooh. What the dog doing? Oh, you're alive! Oh, hi. Oh, it's Ulysses. Oh, it's Ulysses. Oh, hi. Hi, Ulysses. And Squeak. Hello. Oh, the cats came with me. That's why. That's why they're here. This is silliness. The gnome! Oh, Bubbles. Nevertheless, well, it's like, because it's going to be kind of like a Sunday-style stream, just because of the... gnome. I see him. But I know that it's gonna be a Sunday style game just because, you know, it's still like a Tuesday, so it's like, okay, we don't want to start any long series and then carry into next year because then I have to do it for the tier list. that is one reason why I haven't met in general. That's true. Thank you. I want to let you know I do deeply appreciate it that you're even thinking of doing so. But nevertheless, though, it's just like I do know that the only reason I think the last few years I've had series carry over into the next year, which is really fun, but I do think that it's nice that this is one of those years where I also have, like, totally clean slate going into January. Quite a rarity, all this considered, actually. For all the years we've been doing this, I'm surprised that this is only the first year I've been able to start from, you know, like, okay, what do we want to start in January type stuff. Oh, boy. Looking forward to the games we're starting with, though. I know Final Fantasy X is, like, I think Final Fantasy X might be one of those ones that gets a lot of people in the door, just because I know that it's one of those games that really, like, people want to see first playthroughs of it, so I do know that one to be true. I'm excited to see how that plays out. The only stuff I do know, like, here's the thing. I have seen pictures, and I have seen, like, certain, I will say, like, visual spoilers. Do I understand the context of them? Absolutely not. Because, like, again, it's the Magic the Gathering stuff. Like, I think even on the stream I said as much that I'm like, I don't really know what's going on here, but the characters look cool. Like, I understand. I understand some things, but more like in the context of, okay, this is definitely important. Like, the Final Fantasy X deck has Sin. And I'm like, I recognize this is Big Whale, but I do not actually understand what Sin is. That said, naming a big, like, you know, Leviathan thing Sin is kind of sick. It's kind of like a rad name for a big monster. Very, very good. I think the only other thing I know for sure is the fact that Waka is not... It's like... I know he plays Blitzball, or at least he plays a version of it. I at least know that much, but only because I know that Blitzball, people love that, right? I feel like me saying people love Blitzball is like... So I think a Final Fantasy X player just had like a small, like, heart attack. I don't know. I've heard people say it's not great, but Sin is doing so jokingly. Yeah, it's like sin is sin. I understand. I like the Mr. Incredible meme. It's like sin is sin. but in truth, it's just like it's like do I know anything? No. It's like realistically no. And the main thing for me with like stories in general is it's context that matters. Like even if I see a visual spoiler of a game, I'm more like, okay, that's not information, and it's also not really. It's kind of missing like the journey up to that point. You know, like. If I knew everything that happened leading up to a certain reveal or like a certain character thing, then it would matter. Like then it would be like, oh, this is all, like really bad. I saw it early, you know. Like I would say, you know, it's one that actually I think is like a funny thing that I don't understand it, but I get like that this is a thing. In Final Fantasy X, there's a character named Jekt. I don't know anything about him, but his card is double-sided, and it transforms. So I'm like, okay, so he can transform. That's kind of neat. Do I have any idea what that means? Absolutely not. Do I have any idea who he is? No. Like, all I know is that Jekt is, like, he's just a dude. He's dude. I understand. And that's kind of like it, you know? It's like... But it's interesting because it kind of, like, you know, the context of a spoiler can be... is everything, really. Like, I think of the famous, like, book one I use as, like, my example of, like, a spoiler that everybody knows. The character that combines cooking person and spear person from 9. Oh! I'm excited to see that person. I know that well, it's like, you know, like I'm thinking of like Final Fantasy VII has the like that like famous twist where it's like everybody knows the twist but not the context behind it. You know, like Aerith, the fate of Aerith is, I'll just call it that. Like that particular spoiler there, like most everybody who's ever seen an RPG game knows the spoiler. Otherwise, I love them. I'm gonna have to look at that. But it's like, you know, like certain characters, it's like certain spoilers, it's like they become ubiquitous with the thing, but the context is lost, so it doesn't actually tell you anything to know that it happens. Like knowing what happens to Aerith does not tell you all the stuff leading up to it. And I still don't know that stuff. Well, I sort of do, but like mainly because I've seen videos of Final Fantasy VII, but like even then I don't have the context. I didn't play the game. It's kind of like, if I don't have my hands on the controller, the information doesn't really stick, if that makes sense, you know? Like, kind of like, I don't really save it to hard memory if I don't actually play the game. Which I think is a great perk of my brain and how it works, because, man, it would make certain games really hard to go and play myself. Case in point, if I ever decide to stream The Outer Wilds, it's good that my brain saved basically nothing to memory. Because I have seen entire playthroughs of the game, and I've been told that if you probably should play the game entirely blind, but it's like, until I put my hands on the controller and play it myself, I have no idea. Like, I understand certain mechanical stuff, sure. Actually, Undertale's another one like that. Where it's like, I understand mechanics and there are certain things I know, but it's not really like the same thing as knowing, you know, like that I was there, you know, it's not like I was... Case in point, I think the whole thing of Mettaton. Like, I love his music, and I've listened to Death by Glamour over and over again. I have never fought the boss. Like, I don't know. I don't know the context of his music, I just know that piano part rips, you know what I mean? Like, do I need to know the context to know that this music is a bop? Absolutely not. Like, heck, I have a bunch of Undertale songs on Rocksmith now, even though I've never played the game, because I'm like, yeah, this music is, like, a banger. Like, I'm gonna play the music, I don't care. Like, do I know the context? No. If I recall correctly, I think I got to Undyne in my first playthrough, and then I stopped playing. I remember seeing Undyne. I know who that is. Blue lady. I know, Funny Papyrus. My brain just refers to him as Funny Papyrus. I think of him as like the funny paper man. He's named after paper. How crazy. I know he's also I know he's named after a font, but like, I don't know. It's just really funny to me. He speaks in fonts. I like that. But you know, it's like, again, I'm like, oh man. I'm still thinking about the birthday game though, but it might be a GameCube game. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I actually, you know, it's one that I have been thinking about, actually, which I think it's because I wanted to play the original version of the game. And I might skip that mission if I do play it, just because, you know, as much as it is part of the game, I kind of don't need to play it again. It's the original version of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. But mostly just for the nostalgia, like, honestly. Like, that feeling of, oh, it's because it's been literal, I think it's been over a decade since I played the campaign. Like, I'm not a first-person shooter, like, not really like you guys have seen, I'm not, like, the best at first-person shooters, but I did play an ungodly amount of that game with my brother and my friends, especially, you know, like, split-screen multiplayer, couch multiplayer, where you're all screen peeking, you're all yelling at each other, and everybody's looking to get, like, a kill streak of some kind. And Terminal is the worst thing to happen to friendships. It's like Monopoly may be a friendship deleter, but it is both a friendship strengthener and dissolver to be running dual 1897s, the dual shotguns. You run the models with friggin' FMJ in Rust. Like, you are just that is foul. Oh boy. I remember me and my brother actually used to do, like, target practice, as it were. Like, we would set up, like, CPU, like, just, like, random enemy, like, you know, other players. Because it's offline, so we didn't have online. We wouldn't play online. But we would just set them up and, like, run... We would basically, like, run tracks and, like, learn how to play the game. At least my aim is not bad. It's like... I feel like that sort of stuff is why my aim in games isn't bad. It's just, like... Sometimes I have horrible missteps, sometimes. You know, it's like you have, like, a flub. Then again, nowadays, I tend to play games like I'm jogging rather than, you know, trying to play at top speed. Actually, even Fortnite, that's happened when I've played that game on the occasion. Where I'll be just kind of, you know, I won't really be running towards objectives or, you know, chasing the big weapons. It's like, oh, I'll just, you know, I'll run my race, you know? And sometimes I've won. You know, sometimes I win, sometimes I don't. And it works out either way. Yeah. But, you know, very nice. But I think that one I might save for a Sunday stream later in 2026, because I think I'd like that to be its own thing rather than a birthday thing. So it's not... I think the campaign's fantastic, but I don't think it's like I want to do that for my birthday type thing. Maybe for Valentine's Day. That'd be funny. I don't know, just like IS, what thing should we do? IS, Call of Duty. Back when it was still good. Did I say that? I'm sorry. Oh boy. It's very hard for me to contain my mild resentment for what Call of Duty is now. I guess it's natural. You know, it's like you watch... I think watching something change in front of you can be startling too. Even if it's not 100% bad, it's just like... But you watched it go from one thing to another. That can be strange. There we go. I'll have to think about it some more. It probably will end up being a GameCube game of sorts, though. Might need to look through the collection. I've been very tempted to go and try and... Since I'm better at games now, is to go try and play Batman Vengeance. Because I never got to beat it in my own time. Never got to finish the game. I know that the part of that game that was the hardest thing, for some reason when I was a kid, was the diving training. I never got out of that, and then I think later, me and my brother got past that, and we got to see the Joker level, maybe? It's weird, because Batman Vengeance is, like, weirdly good. It's like, it's frustrating. I know that one's a Sunday game for next year, because it's up there. I set aside a couple games for, you know, like, one I need to finish, which is I need to finish playing Custom Robo. I think there is... There's the Falsebound Kingdom, Time Splitters 2. I do want to finish Time Splitters at some point. Oh, that's Sonic Riders. Okay. I know one of the ones I want to... There's a couple games I want to go back to on the GameCube and try and finish. Or even for my sake. Let's see, there's Batman Vengeance. I think of other games I didn't finish. Oh. I just remembered. Like FPS games when I play with friends, especially we do Unexpected and kill someone. I killed 2 Juggernauts with a grenade launcher that exploded from above both of them. I'm dying because of my lack of experience. Oh, that's so fun. I think it's fun when it's like you get like that sudden burst of energy, as it were. You know, you get to do something crazy and wild. Especially, yeah, pardon me. Especially when you're playing with friends, you know? Like I said, couch play, you know, the split screen. I think split screen first person shooters is where it's at. If you're gonna play any, like online shooters are nice and are well and fun, but there's a certain magic when you're like with your friends sitting on the couch and all yelling at each other. I don't know. It's like it's one of those things that feels like it's a particular experience that is very hard to replicate online. It's a special thing, really. Very special thing. This kettle is dirty. Why? Oh, I like that it has physics. That's funny. Wait. Oh, it just moves. That's cool. I know that I was thinking about it. There's a pair of games I need to go and finish because my lack of doing so is finally catching up to me. And that would be Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. I told myself at some point I would get around to it. I think this next year, if I have the time, it's gonna be the year. Because, man, it really does feel like one of those things where it's like, you know, I probably should just get on that finally, you know? One of those things that really does feel like, okay, just get around to it, man. What am I missing? Oh, this thing. Doy. There we go. Shed door, window, fire pit, kettle. Still dirty. There we go. Shed frame, shed window. Ah, there we go. Okay, cool. Alright, let's watch the time lapse really quick. I need to get some more water. I need to drink some more. The water is necessary. Okay. Okay. Oh, there was a bear inside of... there was a bear inside of the lodge. Oh, that's fine. What are you gonna do? It's just like, what are you gonna do? Alright. Now we're back. Okay, I know we got new furniture. Yeah, we got new furniture, yeah? Yeah, there's new furniture we can buy if we so desire it. So we could buy funny lamp. A lamp would be nice, I'm not gonna lie. Apologies. Alright, washer equipment. What do we got? We have this one. There's the turbo nozzle. The long extension, extra long extension. It costs 1,000 to get the Prima Vista. 2,400. I think we want to get this one next, or we could get the... We could get... I've been using the urban one, so I might just get this one. Okay, how do I... Washer styling. How do I change what I have equipped? How do I... I actually don't remember how to change equipment. Let's see. It's here. Change washer styling. Washers. Nope. Okay. How do I change my washer? I'm trying to figure out how to change the one I'm using right now. Just like, maybe I change it on the job? I bought it already, so how do I equip it? Have this one. Sell for 1,200. No. I want to... How do I equip things? Yeah, it might be something I have to equip on the... Oh, maybe it's on the... Hang on. Oh. have to remember. Hey, Apprehentus, how's it going today? Hope you're doing well. My brain just like kind of brain had to reset a little bit there. Oh yeah, we have these things. Oh, this is where the shelf fills up. We have like little models of all the things we clean up. Oh, that's cute. Oh my god, there's so many. I just realized how many slots there are on here. Oh my god. Oh, I'm gonna be playing this game for a while, aren't I? Let me get the foxes. There we go. Ah. Oh boy. The nose thing is now moving to a throat thing, and that's good, because that means that I'm talking more than my nose can mess me up. That's alright. Let's see. I guess I don't know how to change that. Art Deco house. Oh. This is Trilobite Lodge. What? I need to see this. A scissor lift. Yo! We actually have a scissor lift. What? What the heck is that? Okay, let's see. Let me check the controls. Maybe I can... washers, cycle, radial. Oh, I see. There we go. Oh, I see. Oh, so now I'm using the newest one. Ah, I see. Because I have it. I see. Here, put this up. Oh, that's fun. Oh. Oh. Oh, that's cool. Nice funk underscore vehicle. Honestly, I kind of like the, kind of like how it works. It's kind of neat. Alright, so we're gonna need to spray this from the outside as well, but, oh, you know what? Hang on. There, please. Need to get on the other side. Not what I wanted to pick up, but also kind of cool. Need to go back up. I don't know why. There's just something very funny about the way that the lift works. Yep, there we go. Now we're on top of the house. Very good. All right, we'll make it work. I don't know. There's just something very funny about just like immediately. All right, cool. Let's begin with our not with like climbing up on the roof with the scissor lift. I like that it has a spammable button. I think that's what makes it really cook. Let's see. In the firing line of the famous Merman hum. Oh, the house. Oh, the house is in the Merman hum. Oh, I see. Oh, because of the first game. That's right. This is under the light that comes out of the merman's hand. I remember that happening. Frankly, one of those weird events that happened, all things considered, but still very cool. I remember well the merman. Central feature fin. Central feature. That's what this is called. The central feature. I too am a central feature, yes, of course. Understandably so. Yeah. Honestly, this feels like it's gonna be one of those jobs that takes us most of the stream, isn't it? I do like it when they give you one of these big jobs, though, because it is one of those ones that feels very... It's very conclusive. You know, you put all your skills to the test, as it were. But also, man, it is a long one to do, huh? Ooh. I know there's no fall damage, but it's still a little precarious being up here like that. I saw a feature blade, and I'm like, that's my blade. I don't even know what show that is. I just know that that one guy just like ruins everyone. He ruins everybody, the barbarian. Do like this. Oh boy. Oh man. Apprehentus, I hope you're excited for the holidays. I will say, you know, is one thing that I'm excited for is that it's like, it's one thing that I am grateful for that I was raised with this to be a thing, was that even though my birthday is on the 30th, and my parents are coming over Wednesday. Ah, very good, very good. Most excellent. Very good, very good. It's like, even though my birthday is 5 days after Christmas, I never feel like it's like my birthday and Christmas get, like, lumped together, you know? It's never like, oh, let's just celebrate both at the same time. It's always like, no, we'll make distinction. Because my household never did that to me, which I am pretty sure is why I am not not an annoying person. I feel like I would definitely be a lot more bitter about the holidays if my birthday was lumped in like that. But thankfully, it is not. And that definitely helps. That definitely helps a lot. What do we got here? Hey, I could have put on some music, but I kind of like the ambience of the game right now. I guess, if anything, that is something I'm surprised the game doesn't have, but I guess in a way it's kind of an impressive form of restraint that they didn't try to write, like, lo-fi music or some sort of, like, vibes music or something. Or even, like, an optional radio system or something. I think the fact they were just like, nah, we don't need the music for this. Like, the players will do that themselves. It's like, good on them, you know? Restraint is appreciated. There we go. Time to beam. That's very good. Hope everybody gets to have the holidays they want this year. You know, it's like, no major problems. You know, if there's gonna be any complications, it should be only in matters of how can we continue to have more fun, you know? Or at the very least, you know, like, how are we gonna split the, you know, the whatever pies or cakes we have? I hope that that's the only, the you know, the furthest any altercations we go to. Oh boy. Thinking about food now. I made burgers today and I was kind of like, they were okay. I think it was just because it was just like, you know, one of those days where it's like, oh, I'm just kind of like making food for the sake of making sure I eat, rather than being expressly like, oh, this is gonna be the best burger ever. It's like, it's okay. Not every day needs to be the best form, you know? I think my organization on this job has not been the best, but it'll be fine. Okay, there we go. I feel like this house is gonna look really neat when we're done. It already looks cool, but I'm curious what the colors are gonna look like. It's gonna be fabulous. Fabuloso. Ooh. Let's see. Maybe if I pass over this twice, it'll be enough, maybe? Maybe. Oh, yeah. Starting to feel my throat kind of do the thing where I'm kind of worried that tomorrow's stream I'm gonna have to shut up even more. Made a joke that this is like, you know, an exercise in restraint. That this is not necessarily like my body being like, you know, hey, stop that. More just okay, let's see if you can, how good can you stream when you have to limit your talking? Which I think it'll be fine, but it's just very funny to think about my body being like, nope, we're doing it this way now. See how you do without your ability to yapathon. Oh, man. It does make you more choosy with your words, though, huh? Oh. Okay, we're gonna have to run up the stairs again. Do appreciate that I can just pick it back up and then that's how I use it, but... Oh. There we go. Ah. My joints are all sorts of screwy right now. There we go. Ah, there we go. I don't know why, but this house kind of reminds me of the Powerpuff Girls house. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the retro look, you know, the very like 50s shapes and stuff. They have like it reminds me a little bit of the Powerpuff Girls house. Thinking of the all it's missing is the 3 circular windows. Oh boy. Man, I'm just thinking about the fact that of all the scientists that have ever existed in fiction, I forget his name, but the scientist from the Powerpuff Girls, he's probably the most ethical scientist in like one of the most like ethical in fictional history. Because it's like, oh, I made these 3 supercharged children. I will proceed to be a good parent. And he actually decides, and he actually learns how to be a pretty good parent. And it's like, dang, son. Meanwhile, it's like, meanwhile, Victor Frankenstein, the most esteemed scientist in fiction, is probably one of the worst scientists ever. Such a crappy scientist. It's like, oh yeah, it's cool. It's kind of like good job, like messing up your one creation. You had one job, you know? Like, look at the thing. You gave him anxiety. Oh, we don't have the extension yet. Oops. Like, poor Adam did not deserve that. Then again, I think it's pretty agreed upon that Victor Frankenstein ain't a good scientist. Not to mention, he doesn't write down what he does. Let's see. We're going. Ah, jeez. Thinking on a similar note with that, because I'm thinking like scientist stuff, but yeah. Oh man, my brain. I know that every once in a while I take a breath in and it like my train of thought gets derailed a little bit because my freaking breathing is all screwy. And yeah, there we go. 11% of the way through the job. You know what though? I do appreciate that this game, like the first big job you get is always something. It's always something fun to explore as well as it is something to clean. You got to come up with some type of system to clean it all up, you know? Like you can't just like run willy-nilly across the whole thing. You can't just like spray it randomly and hope for the best. It's like, nope, you have to stop, look at it, consider the angle you're gonna start spraying. I believe this one's hose is pretty good. There we go. Just crawling across the beam. There we go. There we go. Very, very nice. Oh, I see. The whole thing is the fin. I understand now. I wasn't 100% sure how this piece was being counted, but I see. So it's the entire structure. Interesting. Kind of fascinating that it's like the whole thing. They absolutely could have done it a different way, but that's interesting. Like it's one big contiguous piece. I guess that kind of leads me back to an earlier question I had of how do they do the pieces, like the different pieces of the walls here, like of a cleaning object. I'm seriously wondering if it really is just that they load the model piece by piece. Because it does feel like that would make the most sense, that each piece has its own collision and whatnot, but then again, I don't know. Like, how do they do this? How do they design this game? Because I think the technical decisions are more of like a challenge than the idea of cleaning, of like power washing. But then again, I think simulator games, you know what I'm thinking of right now is it's like those like miniature role-playing cities that kids could go to. I think they still have them, but it's like kid cities, you know, that sort of idea where it's like the idea is like, oh, if you have the ability to simulate a particular profession, it's like it's kind of fun to do, you know, like the idea of like, oh, I want to pretend to be this. It's like, I don't know, man, I see people on VR chat pretending to be whatever they want. So in my mind, it's like, well, there's clearly a psychological benefit for adults as well as kids to like role play and pretend, you know? I think it's like, it kind of lets us view things from a new angle forcibly. Because it's like, oh, I'm gonna be like, you know, you go into like, oh, I'm gonna go be a doctor in this part of in this game thing, and it's like, okay, but you're not actually a doctor. It's like, yeah, but I'm gonna pretend to be, because it's, you know, it's like, it's an escape. I guess with this stuff, giving yourself very tangible, solvable problems of clean the thing, psychologically, it has to be like massively rewarding, you know, like the idea alone that, oh, I can clean this thing. Kind of reckon that somebody must have had like an experience where they like had a, you know, like a problem with being like sloppy, you know, like having problems with cleaning, and then they like play this game and they're like, oh, you know, when it turns into small things you could do in a game, it's, you know, easier to handle, and help them get through like, you know, becoming a more clean and, you know, like, you know, more like being able to clean themselves up kind of thing. And if that's the case, I hope somebody lets me know, because that would be nice. That's good, you know. Games do help us find the things in us that are missing. Sometimes it really is just the chance to smile, but sometimes that really do be all that's missing, is just the chance to smile, you know? Yeah. My nose is doing the thing again. I apologize. But yeah, sometimes it's just like the chance to play something and have fun, or do something that is, you know, like PowerWash Sim is very much a here's a task, go do it kind of game. You know, it's like, it's kind of it's like old school arcade games where here's your thing, go do it, and that's it. But I don't think that's a bad thing. You know, it's like, I feel like it's good sometimes just to have a thing to do, you know, rather than having to stop and ponder every time you have a existential moment, you know. As I like to say, sometimes it's nice when it's not that deep, you know. But like yesterday with Marvel Cosmic Invasion, I really did appreciate that the story was just, here's a bad guy, go beat him. You know, like, Annihilus isn't deep. He's not a philosophical villain. He's not a particularly, like, he's not a particularly inventive guy. But it's like, yeah, but he's unequivocally evil, and you want to slap him upside his stupid bug head. Like, yeah, that makes sense. And that works. You know, it's like, it's genuinely just satisfying to look at a guy like that and be like, yep, time to hit him in the head with the shield and, you know, call it a day. Call it a good day's work, you know? As they say in the streets type shit, you know, like that's good. Sometimes we just need that, you know, just like, here's something easy to digest. I guess in a way, sometimes it's like, you know, no matter what you do, when it comes to like what you're up to, sometimes it's like, even if you eat high dining, you know, you eat like the fanciest food ever, sometimes I think every once in a while the body just naturally craves something that's just like just go eat like the equivalent of like, go eat a burger, man, you know, like just go get yourself like a treat, you know, something like that. I feel like it's just like, in terms of storytelling and in terms of like gameplay, sometimes we just want a burger, you know? And this game, I feel like, in ways, is that burger. You know, just like, it's quick, easy, satisfying, and you're right into it. You know, it's like, we don't need to do any setup. We just like, all right, cool. You know how to use the power washer? Great. Get to it. I'd say another game I recently tried out, because it's also on Game Pass, that it very similar idea in terms of it's very much a burger game. Like, in terms of like, it's quick eating, is a game about digging a hole. Or Agata. I think that game it's like comically simple, you know? It's like, okay, here's your shovel, dig. And X marks the spot, dig a hole. And it's just dig hole. That's it. That's the whole game. Like, yeah, it's like you find rocks, you sell rocks, you upgrade the shovel. Genius. And it's like, is it silly? Yes. Is it kind of short? Also, yes. But frankly, I feel like there's something genius about just having the idea alone of, sometimes we just want to dig a really deep hole. And Minecraft sometimes feels that way, but I feel like when you pare a game down to just dig the hole, there's something like in your monkey brain that just says, yep, we're good, you know? And that's just all it is, you know, just like, Like I said, sometimes we crave a refined meal with a thoughtful palate, and sometimes we just want to eat. I like to call those, when I cook them, I call them sustenance meals, where it's like, the taste isn't really what it's like, it tastes good, but it's not really what we're here for. It's like, we're here because it fulfills the need. Hits all the right nutrients, you're good. I think cooking and gaming tend to go hand in hand with a lot of the analogies, because I think cooking, I guess when it comes to like describing a medium, I think the reason why people like saying let him cook is because cooking is inherently a finite experience. Kind of sounds weird, but it's like when someone goes into an argument, the argument's over once it's done. Like once you've written it down, it's over. Like, right? Like the moment is done, the heat has passed, and the meal has been savored. And when it comes to something like, like, okay, let him cook, and he's like, you're in a fighting game, you're playing a game with reflexes, you're, doing something that, like, the moment has passed, it's over, It's like, in a way, food is one of those bizarre art forms where it is not only just meant to be consumed, but it's meant to be, like, that exact experience will never exist again. That very specific meal, in that time, place, with that context, with everything there, will never exist again, and yet we pursue it, because it's like, well, yeah, of course we will. Because it's beautiful. And in a way, I think games are the same way, where it's like, once you consume a game once, you can never eat it the same way again, you know what I mean? Like, you can't consume... Like, I can never go back and play Slay the Princess like I did in my very first playthrough, I can't go back and get that very first playthrough of Final Fantasy 13 again, or... I would say, like, going back earlier, like, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I can't get back that feeling of... the shock of no Russian, the actual shock of it, not just that it's a shock thing, like the actual, oh my god, this isn't a video game thing, or like, is the story going to do this kind of thing? Honestly, for me, it always felt more like, oh my god, the story's going to go that far, and it's like, yeah, it does. It's like, whoa, hey now, kind of scary. But more specifically, it's like, there's something very specific to the idea of like, you can't really get that same meal the same way you did it the first time, Pardon me. I breathed in a little too hard, my nose just... like a pig. Apologies. But, yeah, no, it's just like, it's something I think about now with this stuff. 25% done. Not bad. But, let's see. Did I miss anything on this side? Well, we haven't done the front at all. Maybe we could start from the back. Yeah, let's start from the back. Well, I'll do this section next because this is kind of easier to think about. But yeah, it's like, it's one of those things I think about the analogies of like food and cooking with video games a lot, because it's like, when it comes to games, it's like they are, in a sense, an experience. You're gonna check out the music from Rock is a Lady's Modesty. I did not. Let me see. I'll make sure. Wait a minute, what? Hang on a moment. Written down here, yeah? Let me look. Oh, I turned the freaking page. That's my bad. Let me rewrite that one down. I did not get around to that one. Mainly just, I think that one I got busy. Hang on, Rockets Ladies Managers. Ladies. I need to check that out. I need to check that out after stream. I know for a fact that yeah, because I have it written down right here. I know I just turned the page for some freaking... I also have the note about 220... Oh, god dang it. Okay. Why did I write it down like that? Got lost in the sauce. God dang it. Yeah, look at that. I have been trying to catch up with more stuff outside my wheelhouse. I have been trying and failing to get myself to watch K-pop Demon Hunters because I keep hearing people talk about it. Which I find it fascinating that it's like, when it comes to movies, I have to drag my heels really hard with it for some reason. Even when I hear it's really, really good, it's like my brain is just like, nope. It's a movie, time to drag my heels. Like, brother, just let me watch it. I need to watch the thing. I would like to know what people are talking about. But movies, for some reason, I don't know. I still don't know why my brain does that when it comes to film. Like, only with films does it do that. Need more water again. Oh, jeez. I feel like I'm like... I hope my voice isn't getting, like, noticeably worse. Like, I don't think I'd be able to 100% tell, but it would be very funny to me if it's just, like, over time, starting to sound more and more like Sidious or something. Like, do it. Oh, boy. In any case, I do need to check that out, though. I do need to get around through that. I know that that's only because I've been... I hate it whenever I'm like, I write something down and then I end up missing, like, the note gets, like, lost in the sauce somewhere. Like, it defeats the purpose of writing it down if I don't remember where I wrote it down, you know? That's just that's some grade S tier foolishness right there. I think it's more, it's not grade A, it's S tier foolishness. Oh. Ooh. No worries. All right, I'll make sure I check it out though. Make sure I can. Will say I will say I'm hoping that hopefully, you know, after this week and maybe the birthday stream, I'm hoping beyond hope that I can hit my my follower goals this year. I had the same follower goal last year. And I was kind of like, oh, well, it's okay. Things take time. I don't really mind, but it's also like, you know, you set a milestone, you hope that you hit it, and it's like, if you don't, you kind of like, okay, what can I do to fix that? That's mostly what it feels like more than anything. It's just like, what can I do to bring this closer to fruition? Do I need to play Kingdom Hearts? Do I need to play... Do I need to make a 3... I've actually had the thought that I'm just curious about the music, but the anime is good though, too though. Yeah, I'll try and check out what I can. Probably right after stream, as long as I don't need to get up and like get like, if I need to like... Yeah, throat, please. Cooperate. If I have to go and like, you know, take something, and then it's like, I'll probably do that first, then sit down again. But either way, I'll figure it out. It'll be good. What was I on about? What was I talking about? Crap. Brain just... Train of thought derailed once again. Before it reaches the station. Yeah. Definitely getting distracted more because of the bodily feelings. Ad break. Well, I guess it's good that my train of thought derailed. The ad break showed up. that would have sucked for me, wouldn't it? Oh, jeez. Let me get a look at the music, though. I have been listening to our Bocchi the Rock music, though, because my brother recommended some of that for friggin' The Beam? Hmm? Huh? Oh, the beam's gone. Well, that's funny. Huh. Wasn't that beam keeping the volcano in check? Oh, yeah, that's right, the volcano. Huh. Huh. It's just like, huh. Peculiar. Oh, dear. That's right, I forgot about the volcano. Well, I'm sure that won't be a problem. Now the question is, did they dirty up the temple, or did they dirty up the merman's hand? Mysteries abound. Treasures untold. Alrighty. This up. Ah, jeez. Actually, this ad break, I should take a moment and, like, sit up fully, stretch my arms. Oh yeah, muscle atrophy. Oh man, I have been playing more guitar lately, which has been very nice. Oh, I had a bit of an emotional moment playing guitar because I've been trying to practice more Crush 40 songs with Rocksmith because I can. And I don't know, it's like, I don't have a particular connection to What I'm Made Of. It's like, it is a really good song, but it's not like, it's like Live and Learn and Open Your Heart's like the two that are like my favorite. But landing a particular part of the chorus just kind of sent this chill up my spine, and I'm like, oh, that's the good stuff right there. Apologies. Mute the mic. Alright, yeah. I have a general rule that I'm not allowed to cough or sneeze on stream. I consider it bad for the ears. I don't like doing that. Apologies. Yeah. Okay, we're better. I'm kind of worried now that I'm like, it's like, see, the problem is mentally, I know that being around a bunch of snot-nosed children on Saturday is like, that would be the most likely vector if I got sick for something. Because I'm like, I was literally around like half a dozen, 2 to 5 year olds. Like, mentally, I'm like, yeah, that would definitely be, if I got sick from something, it would definitely be one of those kids. And that makes sense. But it's also like, in the back of my head, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I was okay. But now I'm like, okay, brother, are you sure? I'm thinking about it like, Probably not doing any favors by yapping too much, but... Oh, man. Now I'm really thinking about it like, okay, is this just you yapping too much in the air's too dry, or did you actually get something? And I'm like, yes to maybe. Perhaps. That's a nice telescope. Oh, it's a theodolite. Yeah, that makes sense. I hope the old mayor of whatever doesn't come back and try to get revenge because we turned off his really stupid harebrained scheme to let the volcano blow up everything. Ah, fingers crossed. Ah, jeez. Yeah, I'm starting to think that I'm like now wondering, like, okay, could it be something I picked up? Really hoping it isn't, though. Oh, man. Well, it's like, little kids are vectors for sickness no matter what you do, but it's like... I also wash my hands religiously, but now I'm kind of wondering if I might have, like... Did I irritate something? Yes, yes, on Saturday. Oh, well. What are you gonna do? It happens. Easy come, easy go, as they say. As they say. Oh, boy. At least, you know what, though? I will say, this job, at the very least, this particular house, a lot of different parts of the job. I feel like if I, like, actually analyze the level design of each section, as for cozy games, for me, it's actually not included Season 3, my go-to. Thinking about it, like, it's like, you mentioned, it's like, not thinking about it. What are my cozy games? Because it's like, I'm trying to wonder now, because it's like, what do I play? Because it's changed so often because, sometimes I'll find a new game to sit and play. I guess in terms of what do I play when it comes to, like, comfort, and I'm like, in a way, Skyrim is, like, the game that I like, kind of come back to whenever I want to, like, just, coast and relax, but it's not really cozy in the same way. It's not cozy in, like, a specific way, but thinking it might be maybe Civilization 5, because it's kind of like the most sit there and enjoy, and, like, sip some tea while I play kind of game. Definitely the most, like, you're just kind of quietly enjoying the satisfaction of running a good ship, I have been told I should try Stellaris at some point, but every time I look at it, I think that is going to be like 4 months of my life I'm not getting back on one game. Like one run of Stellaris. At least from what I've heard. Whether that's true or not, I actually have no clue. But it probably is, given that it's a consistently talked about feature of the game, truly. It just makes me wonder, do people like the game, or is it like a Stockholm Syndrome thing where it's like you play it, like people played it long enough that they just get stuck within? Makes me wonder. Ah, jeez. Season 3 actually autosaves every mission as separate files, so you can save at certain points, finish the mission, choose the other branch. Yes. That I do remember, which I feel like that would be... I do need to go back at some point on my own time and just check out some of that stuff. I know at some point I told myself I want to go around and do some of the super bosses that I missed in games that I haven't, you know, gotten to finish in a while. I haven't gotten to finish 100%. I know one of the ones that's kind of been like kind of frustrating me is thinking about the super boss in Final Fantasy IX, because I know now where Ozma is. People played what game and got stuck with it? Stellaris. It's a Stellaris. Because I do wonder, because with Stellaris, it's like Civilization 5, but I've heard that some people, it's like they're individual games. Like they play one game of Stellaris, and it takes them like months to finish. I do wonder about that. You know, it's like, is that normal? Oh, this is the trial bite. I see. Is that normal for such a game, or is it just because people? Is it because people don't finish it fast? Like, I don't know. I should not have mentally reminded myself of Antechamber. Apologies. I just realized I never finished Antechamber, and now it's like gnawing at the back of my head again. I think I've played Antechamber on 4 separate occasions and have never been able to figure out more than the first few steps of the puzzles. I still have not finished that game. Oh, it's gonna be in the back of my head, isn't it? For a good long while. Nuts and bolts. That's gonna be sitting in the back of my head for a while, and I know it. I'll have to think about that later. Tempting though. I need to consider. Might need to play that one later. I feel like this house being asymmetrical is its own challenge, honestly. Like, the fact alone that it's asymmetrical and makes you have to, like, do all this stuff, like, you know, kind of running up and back and forth. You redeem type finish a game. I feel like one of these days I gotta make a sub-list in the games list where it's like XDNF or something, like, hasn't finished yet or something. I could do that. That would probably be one that I should probably make note of in the sheet, is like, hey, this game has something lingering or we haven't done everything yet. I don't think like extra endings, if they're not required for like additional content, is one thing. Like Silent Hill F, I don't think chasing all the endings would be a redeem for that. It could be. I don't know. Don't think it would be, because the game itself isn't really changed much besides the very end, from what I know, from what I see. And in the case of something like thinking of something like, I guess Eternal Darkness would be the same thing, where it's like, well, we've played the game and beaten it, but playing the exact same game 3 times to get the true ending is kind of like, okay, that's kind of dull, to be honest. Much as I like Eternal Darkness, it's like, I don't know if I want to play it 3 times in a row, that, like, you know, in that manner. At least to me. What the heck was that? That was weird. Let's see, the trim is done. Let's do the wall. That might be a good one. That might be a thing I might need to think about, though. Might need to look at that, because that would be kind of fun. I probably will also... I might need some help finding all the games I haven't, like, finished yet. Might need some help finding those, though. But that might be... That's a large job, though, so that might be something I have to stop and consider if I'm gonna ask for help. Finish a game, finish a secret, find optional boss, just spitballing. I feel like for certain games, it would be like it would have to be a game-by-game basis sort of thing. Like, I think generally it should be finish a game. You know, like, if it's a game we started a long while ago, or we've done stuff before. Actually, that is one thing that hasn't happened yet, which I am grateful for, but it is one thing it is written in the rules that one-shot games are technically replayable under my rules. I say technically, but it's like, it is in the rules that if it's a game that's short enough, I can go and replay it myself. Like, that is, like, it is in the rules that one-shot games are allowed to be redeemed again. I think it's just, like, a general, like, manners thing to not do it, like, right away. But if you play Eternal Darkness every October until you have the True Darkness type thing. Honestly, that might be something we do from now on it, like, because it's been long enough since the first playthrough that it would be fresh again. So I guess because we played it in 23, so it's been a couple of years since then, so yeah, we could, you know, honestly, we probably should. Enough people haven't seen the game where I should play it again. Because frankly, the fact that I haven't played it in a long enough time, I could reasonably do it again. has been long enough that most of the people, I think most everybody who's like been popping in lately probably haven't seen it yet. So playing it again would probably would be a reasonable time to do so. Not to mention the fact that it's also just like as much as I'm like, oh, I want to keep playing new games, it is also like Eternal Darkness is probably like one of the best horror games I've played, so. And I kind of don't, it's kind of bad of me, but I kind of don't want to play another, like I kind of want to give Silent Hill a little bit of breathing room for Halloween's. But we might play 3 next year, I don't know. We could play Eternal Darkness and Silent Hill 3 together, maybe? Even though I think the problem is I haven't played Silent Hill 1, so and I know that Silent Hill 1 and 3 are connected, so... might need to do that first. Might be something I have to stop and think about. Either way, though, it's kind of like, okay, what do I want to do? I think Eternal Darkness, I could go do that, though. I guess the one thing I would have to make sure I do is remember where the soft lock happened last time, so I don't have to replay a bunch of the game again. And I have to remember also that I have to also make sure I write down or check, or like, you know, check the VOD before I start of which color did I pick in the... Because you have to do, basically to get the true ending of Eternal Darkness, you have to pick each color one time each, like in different playthroughs. So I have to go through and pick the red, blue, and green deity at least once. That's basically how you get the ending. Just like you have to do 3 playthroughs, 1 for each. I don't think it really changes anything besides the voice, the creepy voice that like recites your runes when you're doing the spells. Besides that, I don't think it changes anything else. I could be wrong, but I think that's all it changes. Because it's like one of 3 voices that recite your spells when you do them. Besides that, I don't think it changes anything. Yeah. Let's see. For Dragoon, I would personally actually see if I could find a save file that has most of the game done just to get to Faust, but that would be my choice for me if I didn't get to him. Yeah. I feel like with Faust, I definitely need to... I think that would be something I'd have to do on my... I need to do that on my time, or just... I think I need to, like, genuinely just make some time to do it again, as it were. I feel like I'd want to refresh my memory of the game anyway. So I think jumping right to Faust would be probably not an effective move. Because I probably would forget most of my combat practice from my playthrough. But I know that there's 2 bosses with Shin Megami Tensei 5 I haven't gotten to yet that I absolutely need to. I've told myself enough times I want to do that. Oh, I see. I need to flip this around. Yep. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I feel like with the other ones I've thought of is I wanted to do it as an edited video if I can help it, is going through some of the bosses I missed. Because some of them aren't really worth doing like full streams for. Like Silent Hill F's bosses, I don't really want to do like full dedicated things for. And I know in the case of... I think specifically the one I'm thinking of with this is also that I don't really want to do a whole lot of the prep work on stream for the Demi-Fiend and Satan in Shin Megami Tensei. I think I'm the only person invested in that one. So I think if I want to do those bosses, I have to go do the prep work myself and then bring the results in an edited video. I mean, if the file has them unlocked, at least I'd grind my characters to my style, which just share my thoughts. Yeah, true. True. I'd have to see what I can find for that then. Maybe find some equipment. I'd have to see what I can do, what would be possible for that. I guess in terms of like games that I would be okay with replaying for the idea of going for all the stuff I missed. I know one of the other ones that it's kind of like gnawing at the back of my head a little is it's because it's been there. I mentioned it a few times, Skies of Arcadia, because I missed so much of the side content because we didn't have... It was sort of like with Tales of the Abyss, or there's a couple other RPGs. Like Final Fantasy IX, we didn't do a whole lot of the side questing only because it's like, it kind of feels like, it's like, usually with games like that, I have Stellar Glow. Stellar Glow Ooh. I mean, I could just replay that one. I still have the save file. I could just replay that for the New Game Plus for the fun of it. Like, genuinely, I would just replay that. Because that would mean that we could get, like, all the different hangout things for every character. Because we have the extra hangout points. I remember that the bonus for that is you get more hangout time. That one would be actually very... I probably should just replay that one anyway. I'm trying to think of how to do that, though. Like Golden Sun and Dragoon, some expert at your side. Yeah, it's like, because with Golden Sun, I didn't have an expert, but I also... With Golden Sun, the Lost Age, I had the guidebook for the second game. Because with Golden Sun, the Lost Age, I had the guidebook, which was basically the equivalent of having an expert. Because I never missed the Djinn. I was able to keep up with that because I had maps and stuff. And in the case of something like... And like with Dragoon, it's like I had somebody like able to tell me more about the game, so that was also good. Tales of the Abyss, I think, was the most complete version of what I'm talking about, where it's like... Because Cloudy basically made sure I never missed... Because it was all story-related content, which is also true. Because like with Final Fantasy IX, it's not required for the story, for like the characters to... It doesn't really change the characters to go through the side content, but in the case of Tales of the Abyss, it's like there were so many important story beats that happened in the side content that without somebody telling me where it was, I would have missed so much context for Dragoon. Yes, you did. No, that's the thing. It's like, I guess it's one of those things where it's like with Skies of Arcadia, I guess is where I'm like going with this, is that game feels more like Tales of the Abyss, because Dragoon, it's like Dragoon and Final Fantasy are closer in DNA than like Skies of Arcadia and Tales of the Abyss are closer in terms of their DNA, as I put it. Like the things that those games do are very similar. Like Final Fantasy IX and Dragoon, it felt a little bit like the side content. Like from what I understand, the side content opens up more of the world, but not the. I wasn't missing a whole ton of the pieces of the characters from what I understand. But with Skies of Arcadia and Tales of the Abyss, it's like, okay, if you miss some of the side content, you're missing entire characters and like whole like additional things that are kind of like illuminate more of the world and story. God, my throat is like really clenching up right now. God dang it. But I think with games like that, it's tough without an expert on tap. But I think man, I'm thinking though that next year I might need to make a poll. I think what I'm going to do is make a poll for, I'm going to say 2 games. I'm going to say we're going to choose 2 games for replay that have to be from the first, like, I'm going to say the first 2 years of streaming, I think. I'll go through and find some of the series that were like I would say like the most formative for the channel, and I'll make a poll, because I think what we'll do is we'll choose 2 and we'll replay them together, kind of like we'll do them as like a paired set, so we can do the nostalgia together, because I think that would be an easier way to handle replays. And I think replays being something where it's like, because from 2022 to 2026, it's like, all right, 4 years. I think if it's 3 to 4 years of time difference between the first playthrough, I think that's enough time for me to say, okay, it would be, pretty close to the original. Sounds fun, honestly. Yeah, it's like I need to go through and do the work of like, okay, what games do we choose? And there are some games that'll be disqualified due to availability. Case in point, if I played something through Game Pass and I don't have it anymore. I'll send the lads back for now. Like, Persona 5 wouldn't be on the list because I'd have to reacquire it somehow. Which is kind of sad because I'm pretty sure Persona 5 is one that people would want to see again. I feel like that would be one people would be like, oh, you should replay it. It's like, I can't. That one I actually can't. But that's because I am, as the kids say, I'm kind of broke. Comically so, as it were. But nevertheless, there are some games I'll have to go through and be like, okay, can I play this one now? And there's actually a few that I wouldn't do so out of... Mainly just because of how the game handles save files. Like, Pokemon Legends Arceus I wouldn't be able to do because of the nature of how the save file works in the game. So I wouldn't be able to replay that one, sadly. Like, I guess I could use a different profile to play it, because I have the physical cartridge, but I guess, well, that would be fair. I guess that would be a way I could do it. I guess that would be how it happens, huh? Might need to consider that, but in any case, is there anything else? Try to think of games that would actually be like, okay, what games would we not actually put on the list? There's not a whole lot. It's kind of like, okay, what games... I think I'm thinking of which games actually need the glow up in presentation. Which games really need the, you know, like, to actually be like, oh, we're definitely, like... We have the moves, as it were. You're gonna never get through the entire system you make. I'd suggest the Severed Chains version since it adds some UI info. Ah, I see. Okay. Could be good. I thought it was something in the sky, just a leaf. And this house is big. I kind of underestimated how much of a jump this was from the tiny cabin. Crap. We're only halfway done. We've been at this for, I think, an hour now. Holy. Ah, jeez. But I'll need to... I also know that there are some games that... I think there are also games in the list that I think might not ever make it in general, in terms of playthroughs. Like, Lies of P, I think, was a anomaly in terms of the genres we usually do here. Because I know that... I think at one point it was mentioned that, like, I think Souls-likes don't do very well here. And I think that's just mostly because it's like, oh, you know, it's not really the game style we go for usually, but kind of a shame because I do actually quite like so Lies of P was a lot of fun. We actually had a lot of fun with that one too. I know a bunch of clips got made during that one. I have a few of them on the channel, I know that much. I'm thinking of the one where I was I put it in that recent meme pack that I made. It was on the YouTube. Remember that. Yeah. Okay, I do need to... I probably should start limiting my talking a little bit because my throat's starting to do like the... Feels a bit like the muscles like, okay, yep. What are you doing, buddy? I don't want to end stream early and I don't want to call it quits yet. Ah, jeez. It's bad of me, but I'm like, oh, but I want to keep playing. That'll be okay. You know what's actually one that I just thought of that was like game that I haven't played in a long time that I did as a... I think I did it as a series because I didn't know how long it'd go, but once I started playing, it only took like 3 or 4 streams, was Mario Sunshine. I remember one of my first I met one of my first regulars during that playthrough. I remember that. And I remember the I think it was during the theme park level. He was watching me struggle to get up the one wall. I remember that well, because I was like trying to get up it was the 8 red coins, that's what it was. It was 8 red coins, because I just remember having a lot of trouble with 8 red coins for some reason. It was very funny. Whee! That one would be one, because I think what we'll do is do 2 one-shots, 2 series that we'll replay. I think that's how we'll do it. I think maybe after this stream, I'll go listen to the music from Rock is the Lady's Modesty and do some digging in my own streaming library, my history. I do sometimes wonder if the VODs are, you know, of like major interest to people, but I see the view numbers. It seems like people like them, so it's like, oh yeah. I feel like VODs are a strange thing because they're more or less an artifact from a live performance rather than being a recorded, edited video. But I feel like in a way it's sometimes nice to view stuff like that. Like I watched recently I've been watching Mint Phantom in my spare time because I like her. She was doing Lego Indiana Jones. I wanted to see that, and watching the VODs is actually quite a different experience than when you're watching live. It's one of those things where, you know, when you watch someone live, it's sort of like you're seeing a performer, you know, doing their show. But when you see a VOD, it's like, it turns it into a video. It goes from being a moment to moment thing, and the living moment of a performance to, oh yeah, this is a video of it. It's like an entertainment video. It's like turns it into something very different. Just curious, you know? Kind of funny when I think about how different it feels to watch a VOD in that way. In that same vein, it feels like clips are much the same, where it's like, you know, you see the clip happen in real life, it's in real time, it's like, oh, that was the funny moment, let's clip it. And then when you watch the clip later, it's devoid of its context. You know, it's kind of like the moment itself has become isolated from what made it. And that's fascinating, you know? It's like, oh, this moment is now separated. Ah, jeez. And that feels kind of weird, you know? It's like, it's a kind of a strange happenstance. So we're... I wonder if people speedrun this game. It is just all's well at Mount Rushless. Oh, good. Really sends picture data. I forgot there are so many people who came together after the events of the first game. Let's see. Work, I watch, listen, and live is usually my preference, and since mobile, I found it hard to support multiple peeps. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Especially mobile. I think mobile not being able to... Because mobile can't lurk multiple streams at a time. So it does present a unique challenge for somebody who wants to, like, you know, check out multiple streamers. It's like, okay, you have to pick and choose. You have to pick and choose, which is kind of a tough one, you know? I definitely see that. Especially when it's like, oh, I really like this streamer, I want to watch this one. I usually like to check out VODs if it's like, you know, if I really want to see what happened, you know? But sometimes it does feel like you're watching a recorded conversation rather than getting getting the remnants of a live show. Actually, I just realized I have that same feeling when I watch something like live versions of songs, you know, like in albums when they do like the live version of a song. I actually don't like those very much because I'm not a big fan of the feeling of that. Like, oh, this is a moment that is past. I would rather be there, you know, to listen to it myself or to hear the studio recording. Which is extremely hard because I want to keep up watch streaks so much. I feel that. That's also true, where it's like, oh yeah, you have to like, because if somebody streams on certain days and it's like, oh, I have to maintain the watch streak. It's like, how do you do so? It's like, sometimes it's a lot harder than expected. Can you move this thing? Let's see. Start from this side, I guess. There we go. This is definitely going to be one of those things where the time lapse can be like a minute long. Oh, jeez. There we go. Ah, jeez. I'm like trying to let my throat rest up a little bit. Feels so unnatural to stop talking during stream. I'm usually like, you know, yap a clock over here, but it's like I'm realizing my throat is like, okay, yep, need a break here, and it's like, okay, well, I don't want to. I'd really rather we didn't, you know. But I recognize my body's giving me signals, and I have to listen. Whee! There we go. Okay. There we go. Then again, I think I'm very stubborn when it comes to sickness, because I don't think I get sick very often, but I think in a way it's like that belief can also be very annoying, because if I do get sick, I usually will be like, oh yeah, no, it's fine. I'll be fine, trust. Were they fixed for everyone? I only had a few people even get a streak, and I managed to keep it at least one up to like 250 right now. 250? Whoa. How often do they stream? Holy crap. Holy. That is one thing I feel like I had to like stop myself and consider, because it was like, oh, you know, it's like, oh, I saw how many streams some people did, and I was like, oh, I wasn't even close to those numbers, and I was like, well, yeah, I stream 3 times a week, it's fine. You know, like, having to remind myself that I am not I don't stream every day. I guess the tough thing is that if I was streaming full time, I wouldn't have enough time to really get to, like, you know, game dev stuff or do all my other work. This is a tough one. Thoughts about a band speaking for 5 minutes redeem? I guess the problem is that it's like, actually, no, the person I say name only if allowed. Sure. On the 5 minutes redeem, I feel like the only downside with that would be that I think it'd just be it'd be a punishment for me specifically, but it's like in this context only would it be important because my throat. The sparkle. Ah, I see. The sparkling one. I haven't seen them on very often. That's a shame. Oh, jeez. I do know though, if I was making enough on, like, just being pragmatic, if I was making enough streaming to like justify going full time, I would. But like, it's one of those things where you know when you're like, when it's like right now, I'm like pragmatically, it's like, well, I stream part-time because it lets me do all my work. You know, I get to write my books, write my music, do my stuff. And I feel like if I tried to do full-time streaming, I don't know how much I'd be able to get of that stuff done, you know? I don't know how much I would be able to work on my work, on like my projects, if I was streaming all the time. Also, I don't know if my vocal cords can handle it. Because even just 3 times a week is like... Because as we found with the Hollow Knight streams, I think going 4 times a week actually does put a considerable strain on my throat. I noticed it during the Hollow Knight streams that I actually did have a problem doing 4 streams a week. Like, physically. Which is confusing, but I understand. But it did have me pondering why that was the case. It seems like my body actually does have some, like, pretty solid... Like, obviously I could, like, work up to it, you know, try to get... I think I would start by doing just longer streams first, then add another day, but... I don't know. Ugh. I'm done. This one's done. I feel like band speaking for 5 minutes, though... I think it would also have to be a game where it'd be okay to do so. You know, it's like... Like, some games, me explaining what I'm doing is kind of important, at least to me, when it comes to keeping you guys up to date. If it was something like... Thinking of, like, fighting games or, like, very action-heavy games, I guess me not speaking would also be a curiosity, because then it would allow me the chance to, put it plainly, to lock in. Because I don't really... Like, when I'm streaming, usually I'm like, you know, it's like I said, I jog when I'm playing, but... Oh, personal problems that my day off during the week is Tuesday. Oh, I see. I feel that. I feel like I know that I give my days off once. I have a once a month day off where I do I choose a day to. That's like a day. I choose a day for taking it off. 'Cause I work for myself, so it's like I have to make those decisions myself. That is interesting. I think you guys have seen it happen before. I think it's happened a few times on stream where I've quote unquote locked in. Where it's like the less I talk, it's like Spider-Man. The less I talk, the more serious I'm taking something. But it's mostly just a matter of like, well, if I'm not talking, that means I'm really zoned in. Like, I am not. It's like, it's tough though because I've trained myself so well to continuously respond to chat and to keep talking so that when people come, you know, it's like, I remember that was something that, you know, first advice for, you know, Goo Goo Gaga streamer, for baby streamer was, you know, never stop talking. So I kind of developed the skill of, okay, well, as long as I don't stop talking, people will come in and they'll see, oh, he's playing a game and he's talking, I can listen. And that was the thing I developed, and in some ways it's very hard for me to turn off that habit now. Actually, a funny thing, it's even hard to turn it off when I'm just gaming in general. Because I tend to talk a lot. Actually, a friend of mine made a joke recently that... I like this one quite a bit, actually. That at one, because he realized his controller had died because I stopped talking. He was like, "Oh wait, well, he was talking. What the heck?" He's being weirdly quiet. What's up with that? Which is quite true, to be honest. No, it's quite a true statement, all things considered. Oh boy. It would be an interesting... I might consider it for later, though. I think especially if we enter an era of, like, very action-heavy games. The only downside of adding more redeems is that I have to make more cards. Which is a good thing, but it's also like, okay, I need to make more of them. That took a little bit to get into to get a habit going. They might not be as consistent the second time. Did I... Wait, no, I saved the PSD, I think. Probably did. I'm pretty sure I saved the PSD of that one. I'll have to check. Ah, jeez. I might have to check that. Oh, boy. Okay, humidifier is still running. That's good. I'm gonna stop and have some more water. Thank you for the stretch, Nahamaha. Oh boy. Whew. I hope everyone's able to stretch and hydrate as well. Oh boy. Oh man. That's much better. Oh boy. Might be something I might have to consider it though. I think, you know what it would be? If I feel like at 500 followers I'll add the band to stop talking thing. I think that'd be a funny, what a funny milestone. Like, we'll add additional redeems. Probably could come with a list of 3 or 4 to add at a time, though. Not just like one, so we could have some extra ones, too. Beam's gone because someone's stolen the merman's gems. Oh, I see. The story's actually developing in this game, I see. I don't know why, but it's very funny that they're continuing the story from the first game. And not only taking it seriously, but also, like, developing it. I don't know, that's very funny. It's very good, because I remember the story in the first game, it was kind of, like, a little weird, but I appreciate it. But it's funny seeing that they're not only, like, continuing it, but they're developing from it. Good on them. Actually, these devs are quite good. I do deeply appreciate them for their work. Oh boy. Some good stuff there. Oh jeez. Oh man. You know what's one, I just had a thought pop up for like a question for chat. I don't know exactly why it came to mind, but I'm thinking about, Christmas stuff obviously, but does anyone have a favorite like stocking stuffer? Like a thing that they've gotten in the stocking that's like the thing? I know one of my more recent ones has been like the Lindor chocolates. Those have been quite good. But I like it when it's like trinkets, like little toy things. I guess it's why I make Christmas lists so often, is because I really like it when I have like a stack of things, for Christmas. I remember it's actually something that's, as an adult, it's like as an adult you might think it might be embarrassing, but I actually do really like it when it's like I have like a bunch of like, games or, heck, toys, it's like something, something fun to do for Christmas, something fun to work on. Like Legos are great, and it's like, it's something nice and, physical. I don't know, just like, I'm always, but with like stocking stuffers, I remember one year I got like a tiny Lego, spaceship of some kind. I think it might have been a Star Wars one. Might have been a tiny Millennium Falcon. I just remember really liking stuff like that. I like stuff like that where it's like just small enough where it's like kind of just, it's almost like comical. I like that. I don't know, it's fun. Oh boy. I'm also the, I remember the longest time my mom would get the chocolate coins. I haven't seen those in a long time, but I really like, even though the chocolate's not great, I liked getting them because it always felt like, you know, because you could get a handful of them for like $1. It was always like, oh yeah, here's chocolate coins. It's like, you know, it's kind of funny. Kind of silly in a way, you know? So it's the whimsy. The whimsy speaking through me. Oh, boy. I will not tell a lie, even though I made the schedule, I kind of forgot what I put in for tomorrow. I'm gonna look at the schedule really quick, because now I'm like, I know I chose all 3 games, and now my brain's failing me in terms of remembering everything. I'll have to look real quick, like... What is that thing? Where is the schedule? Oh yeah, Terraria, doy. I have this idea for Terraria that I wanted to try and see if I could, in 4 hours, you know, like, start a new character, try to beat the first, like, the quote-unquote first 3 bosses, you know, like the Eye of Cthulhu, the Skeletron, and the... whichever one you get, like the worm or the other thing from the gross area. Whichever boss is available. Because I think I could reasonably do it, just because I remember playing Terraria a bunch with my brother growing up, like when it came out. But I remember that, I at least remember some of the things, like how to summon the Eye. And Skeletron. Remember most of my Christmas experience when I was a kid, my dad always cooked. It was his profession beside the military. I miss him. Aw. Do you cook as well? Like, do you carry that on? Remember that's something that I took up, you know, it's like... I actually took up making the pies for my family because my grandma used to do it, and it's like, well, the recipes are still there, but... You know, it's like, how much can I learn? I kind of want to. I feel like... Because I know that I taught myself how to make pies, like the pie crust that my grandma had. And it's like, is it exactly the same? No. I don't think it is. But... it's close, and it's so close to the memory, and, you know, it's like, obviously it's the same recipe, so we get close. But it's like, it's more specifically about the... I guess the way I would put it is, it's like an act of communion. Learned a bit from him. Well, it's like, in my mind, it's like, it's an act of communion to partake in the things that we learn, you know, the things that someone else did before us. Because, you know, in that sense, we, you know, when we do so, we remember them. Like, I remember my grandma's cooking, and I remember the pies, you know, I remember, you know, all that stuff. And it's like, I don't remember so sadly. I remember so with, like, you know, a smile on my face, because I'm like, yeah, it's good that I can do this, I can keep doing this, you know? Like, you know, like, specific dishes, maybe, or... even not even specific dishes, per se, but just... going through that act of communion, you know, that... going through the action of, this is a thing that we did every year, so we're going to do it still. I guess in that way, it's why traditions are our communication method with those that we can't talk to right now. If that makes sense. About Terraria a few years ago, played it for an hour, dropped it because it felt to me like Minecraft but 2D, and I don't like this kind of games. Honestly, fair. I get that. I know for me personally, the thing that got me through Terraria, like, the hook for me, was actually, it's kind of silly, but it's actually in the way that the game organizes the tech. And I remember learning the... oh, you don't have to do the doorknob. Oh, that's nice. But I remember it was specifically something with the, like, the tech and the bosses, and having... It wasn't necessary to have the wiki up, but I remember that it was that... it was like an item. Oh, we got banned for bringing in food from events because of my dad. That was funny. Man, that's gotta be some diabolical food if that's, like, getting banned from bringing the food in. That's crazy. Oh, jeez. But, like, I'm thinking of, like, with Terraria, like, I kind of see it, though. Like, I see where the cons are with the game. I think the reason why I can still, like... I guess I'm wondering if on another, like, on a streaming analysis, how will I feel about it? That'll be a curiosity, won't it? Is it still as good as I recall it? And I think in some ways the specific lore of it being so wacky was kind of what drew me to it. Because I like that Minecraft's, you know, world building, as it were, is so is like, it has its certain like mystery and whimsy. I like Terraria for being absolutely batshit insane. Like, yes, the Eye of Cthulhu is like that thing there, right? Well, I don't know. Would surprise having our hot sauce marinade work? I feel like that would be also there, yeah. I also like Animal Crossing kind of games. For some reason, I like Stardew Valley. Honestly, the thing is, I do see the appeal of both. Like, I don't personally play Animal Crossing because I can't do I have to play it for like an hour every day. Actually, daily login games are actually pretty bad for me. So if I'm gonna play one, I usually pare it down. Right now I have like I think I've said it before. I play Star Rail and Uma Musume, and I'm gonna be honest, with the last update, it's kind of looking like Uma Musume might be the only like daily game I play. Because, man, I'm not gonna lie, the last update for Star Rail kind of sucked. Just kind of like, alright, I got the new character, and it's like, oh, wow, she really is just, kind of, eh. It's like, she looks okay, her personality's gross, and, yeah, definitely has a playable build, truly. Oh, what sadness is this? Truly is a tragedy. But I don't really do the Animal Crossing style games because it's like... I think Animal Crossing is the epitome of cozy, but the problem is that I don't want to feel impelled to play. Because I remember when I first played an Animal Crossing game, I played the one... It was New Leaf. I played that on the 3DS because I got a used copy. Maybe it's because I played a used copy that this kind of hit me a little too awkwardly. Was that I actually had to delete the save file of the person who owned it before me. And I realized I kind of just, in a way, deleted somebody's, like, you know, I deleted their town, but in more literal terms, I deleted that town and its people. Like, and I don't know, that just felt very transgressive to me. And in a way, I don't really like the idea of, here's this town that you're going to cultivate and have fun with. The moment you put it down for too long, everybody leaves. Like, what? Like, I don't know. To me, that always felt very, like... That felt very wrong. That feels like a very raw deal, you know? Entrance wall. What's this thing? But, yeah, I can't really do Animal Crossing myself, personally. Not anymore. I tried it once, and it's like, eh. I think also for streaming, I don't even know how I would do it, you know? It's like... Because I remember at one point I considered, oh, I could play Stardew Valley. It's like, wait, isn't it? Because it's Stardew Valley, it's a daily type of game, right? Is it sort of like Animal Crossing in that regard? Because I know there are some games where it's like, oh, if I wanted to stream it, I'd have to play it daily every time. And it's like, oh, how do I even begin to do that, you know? Not really. Ah, I see. Okay, that's good then. I could probably play Stardew then. I could at least try it out. That would be probably a good idea. But I know that with Animal Crossing, since it's a daily thing, it's... Like, I feel very not encouraged to start the game because I don't want to leave the town like that. Because you end up leaving ghost towns behind when you do that. So it's like, oh, that's just weird. Feels very sad, you know? Like, ah, yes, the town's best boy has left us. We're gonna now like exodus the entire place. Like, oh, okay, I see. Understandable. But also, entrance door, entrance wall. Do you like the way the meters are looking? There we go. Ah, there we go. Oh, wait, balcony table? What? I need to look at that really quick. Huh. How did I not finish that table? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Willis? Pray the goofy out of this table. There we go. Jeez. Yeah. There we go. That would be fair, though. But yeah, no, I think traditions are... That's where traditions are, like, most important. You know, the whole thing with, like, you know, communion. It's how we remember. That'd be good. I think it's most excellent a plan. Yeah. My throat's starting to give way. If the next job's like a big one, we might just want to, like, take it easy. I might need to take it easy today. So we'll take a look at the next job and see what's up. If it's a small one, we pull up, but if not, we'll have to consider. Please, Karen, have you heard of a site called UESP before? I've heard the name, but I don't know what it's for. I think I've heard the name before, but I don't remember what it actually is. The unofficial... I was thinking, I know the unofficial Skyrim patch, but that's USSE? I don't remember. I do not remember, unfortunately. There we go. Ooh. Man, all the job in that much time. I do like that I did it kind of as a spiral. Like, I just kind of spun around it a couple times, and that was how I did it. Very satisfying. I'm reduced here now. I find out what Karen's up to. Okay, let's go back to home base really quick. We'll check the next job from there. Hopefully it's a small one. Next one. Dog car. Oh, it's just a car. That's right. Oh, that one won't be too long. Okay. Cats. We can do that one real quick. Let's see. If you remember the classic film from back in the day, driving me nuts about the car with the haunted steering wheel. Alright, let's clean this up. I've not seen UESP before. Ah, jeez. Man, this is a white car and you drove it through this much dirt? Holy. Try to imagine driving a car like this. Pretty gravy. Yeah, white paint is insane to me. That's nasty work. Oh, I like the grill. The grill kind of looks like a mouth. That's cute. It's a site that compiles most, not all, information regarding Elder Scrolls games. It has links for interactive maps. Oh, I see. Okay. Might need to look into that. I'm not gonna lie. I know I've seen interactive maps for... I think Skyrim I've seen maps like that before, but... I might need to look at UESP some more. Or at least I say some more, as if I have seen it before. But, you know... I guess some more would be just seeing it in the first place, so that's also good. That would be a wise decision. His name is Cardigan. I don't know why, but this guy saying lulz like that kind of makes me uneasy. There we go. Alright. Nice, nice. Whew. Morrowind and Oblivion too. I feel like I know I have gotten close to finishing Oblivion. I need to do that sometime. I think I played the remake. I know I played it. I played that last year, I believe, because it came out last year, yeah? The brain's really working now. Hell, that much. It's been that long since it came out, though. I've just realized. I'm gonna need to double check myself, because I think it came out last year. I'm like, did it? I'm trying to think, like, did it come out last year, or am I just going crazy? Oh, boy. But I know I've gotten close to finishing Oblivion though, like original Oblivion, on a couple occasions. UESP interacts with the maps too with agile coordinates. Oh, very good. These are kind of sick. I wonder how they coded that. Because I know that with, like, you know, if it's browser-based, it's like, okay, how do you begin to code that? Yeah, they got to be pretty good on the HTML on the back end there. With some JavaScript, maybe? I do like me some good web design. I feel like good websites are, like, it's like good game design, you know? Optimized, elegant, but robust. Do some cool stuff, but don't... It's like, do cool things, but don't overdo it on, you know, at the expense of the user performance. You know, you want the user, the player, to enjoy what you made. You don't want them to be angry with you. Front body. Go. This thing has a lot of little parts. There we are. Hubcap, door window frame. I see. Hubcap. What is the hubcap again? The game's trying to point me in the right direction. I'm just like, dude, I don't know what I'm doing, man. Oh, this is the hubcap, right? It's weird that my brain only really remembers hubcap because I remember the what was it, Bang a Gong by T-Rex, and there's the lyric where it's hubcap Diamond Star Halo. The fact that I can remember that, but I can't remember like what I did yesterday. It's like, what am I doing, man? I mean, I know I played Marvel Cosmic Invasion yesterday, but you know what I mean. Cool. Barking car. That is so detailed. If you find a guy all the way into boonies or alchemy ingredients, list on the map with links. Oh, dang. That's pretty good. That's very good, actually. All right, what's the next mission? We'll check that really quick while we're able. I might want to call stream a little billboard. Oh, the billboard. Okay, yeah, we'll wait on that. I'll do a quick. Oh, after the ad break. After the ad break. I think what I'll do is I'll clean up some furniture. Let's buy some furniture. Let's see. Furniture of 500. Actually, yeah, I want to buy the... If we buy the rustic sofa... and we buy the rustic lamp, we'd have a nice setup. Lamp. Okay. Access free jobs via the memento shelf in Harper's room. Huh. Oh my god. Why is it so caked on? What the heck? Where do we find this couch at the bottom of the ocean? Good god, man. This couch is at the bottom of the lake. Swear to God. This thing was chilling with Jason Voorhees just before we got it, I swear. Whichever version you want to say he was. Oh, good gravy. Oh, good lord. Like, look at this thing. It's like crusted on. Why? Do you like the added detail that some of the dirt will sometimes flake off instead of just, like, disappearing? Nice. You gotta spin around the couch until it's clean all the way. All right. Nice. Okay. Lamp. The lamp. The lamp. There we go. Lamp. All right, we have a lamp. I think I'm going to call stream a little early because I think my throat... I saw the billboard, and I think that one will take too long. I think my throat is starting to go, so I think I should probably shut up for the rest of the night. In any case... let me go sit in my... you know, I just got this lounge. I should go sit in it. All right. Cool. All right. Well. What do I think of this game? I'm gonna give, like, my synopsis, I guess. Overall... honestly, this game's really good. I think it's the fact that it's a worthy successor of the original. And also, because it's making improvements in places that they can improve without actually going back and changing things that are, I would say, like, without making changes that just kind of make things either neutral or worse. So no unnecessary changes and only positive improvements, really. And the new missions are nice. I like the escalation is a little, like the certain level design, the escalation is a little bit steep, but I think it's nice that we get right to, because I think this game kind of presumes if you've played this one, you played the first one, and it presumes that, okay, you know how to use the washer, so we'll give you some more like comprehensive jobs to do. And I like the game's trust in the player. I think that's great. Overall, though, great game. I like this one a lot. I recommend it. It's on Game Pass for people who have it. It's also on sale in all places for a good price, as I recall. Whew. Thank you all for coming by. Thank you to everybody who came by, couldn't stay to the end. Yeah, remember, I'm streaming tomorrow. I'll be doing Terraria. It'll be speed game. I will try to make a case for those who aren't sure about Terraria. I'll try to at least make a case as to why I like it. But I am not... It's like, even I'm personally like, I wonder how I feel about it now. You know, like... Because we were talking about it earlier, and I'm kind of curious where my stance is now, you know, with Terraria, because it has been quite a while since I played it, so I'm curious how I'll feel about it, so displaced from that first initial, you know, the wonder, the mystery, you know, that playthrough. But in any case, that's good. All right. And I will just put it down right now that if my sore throat gets worse, like talking is very difficult, I will move tomorrow's, not cancel, but move tomorrow's stream probably to next Monday, all things considered, but we'll see. I don't want to cancel a stream, but if I have to, then, you know, it's like, well, it's out of my hands. So we'll see. I'm pretty sure I'll be fine. You know, I'll just get some tea and I'll sleep and it'll all be fine. So it'll be good. All right. Goodbye for now, and thank you so much. I'll see you soon.